All right. Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Sound and blah, blah, blah. Mic check. Okay. Alright, what's up? Here we are getting started again. Hope y'all have had a good day. It's Tuesday, because I forgot already. Sorry about that. Damn, looks hella red. Sounds like Jed's destroying another one of his toys. Gonna be getting started soon.
This wonderful pillow. It's a like button. Friggin' smash! Yeah!
Oh, that felt so good. Just wanted to beat the like button.
Hold on, I'm not done.
You didn't
Do that
smash
more.
it.
I want you to do the same. Right now, smash that like button. You know you want to. Come on.
But look at this. Oh yeah, I can smash.
Alright.
Oh, smash.
Lord.
Adam now has a like button to smash
Dreams.
to accommodate his violent tendencies
Yeah, so many violent tendencies.
and then bang on the table.
Yeah.
So did you guys smash the like button? Oh, a bunch of people
Oh,
did.
wow.
Wow,
Holy
look at that. I
the
think we should. I
pillow.
think we gotta start with that.
Did
from
it
now on.
work?
I know it
You
doesn't
guys
fill the whole
smashing
screen,
pillow
but
works.
whatever.
And I feel better.
Just making sure the just
I've
chatting
let off a little
tab
steam.
works well.
There's a
Thank you,
lot of
pillow.
anger in the air. You know, it's therapeutic.
Yeah.
Seriously though,
Maybe-
thank you whoever sent that to us, because we
Seriously,
just
yeah.
got it in the mail today to the TimCastIRL mail slot, and
God, that's
I actually filled it myself with
Whoa,
some
whoa, whoa, whoa.
some
Let's
beans.
see if
Be
it's
careful.
just the
Point
phone.
You don't want to point it the other way because then it becomes no, don't do it.
No.
It is
becomes
a, it's a
dislike.
like button, all right?
is it?
It is
But-
a like button. Smash the like button.
But is it a Facebook like button?
No, it just looks like this
I don't
one.
care. I don't discriminate against like buttons.
It's blue, like Facebook.
All right, well.
It's purple to me, all right?
It
Oh, yeah,
is.
great.
Try to tell me something different. Go ahead.
It's so
I heard a
red.
rumor. I heard a rumor.
Oh, rumors?
Yeah, that Donald Trump was going to cheat I'm like,
I saw it coming too.
I wonder how many people get the reference. I think you all get it by now, right?
I'm
We just
pretty
love
sure they
making
do.
fun of Eric Swallow.
He's
Donald
so
Trump
endearing.
I
Is
know,
going to
right?
cheat an election.
Oh my gosh.
They would hope, don't they?
This is actually a really fascinating story. It's apparently Max Boot. Who is he? Who's Max Boot?
Isn't he a columnist for? Let me look it
Well,
up.
yeah, he's a
I wanna
columnist for
check.
Washington Post.
Yeah.
But he's like, he wrote an article, and I'm going to give him a more ominous sounding voice because I don't know what he really sounds like. For all I know, he was
Alright.
like, "Hi, my name's Max Boot." So, but for the sake of it, I'm going to give him a more ominous sounding, dark voice of, "I recently participated.
I mean, I could
In
just
war
turn it off
games.
for all that.
Now I was
matters.
on Team Trump, and we did not concede."
Okay.
And he basically writes
so
this article
dark.
about how they were given us like
That's
it's
so
like
upsetting
they're playing D&D
that it looks like
basically.
that.
It's like, okay, this it's actually really funny. They basically played leftist D&D to see what Trump would do.
This
Okay.
makes sense. In
What-
his
what-
picture for the post, he's
Yeah.
wearing a fedora. So I'm just, calculate that into your voice impression. of him.
Hey, stop ragging on the D&D players.
Yeah,
I'm
see,
just
it was the
kidding.
writing on the wall. Yeah, I saw it. It was there.
There you go. That's better.
Well, if we're going to do D&D fedora wearing,
Maximum boot.
anti-Trump. Recently, I participated in war games where I was on Team Trump.
That's where he licks the
Well,
pencil.
it sucks
Drunk.
that it looks good over here, but
He's like,
this.
I was on
I
Team
get all the
Trump.
information.
web
And then his friend goes, more like Trump. Am I right? And then they high five.
Ah.
All right. Enough
Filters.
ragging.
But
on
like
this guy.
across the room too. They're like
Yeah,
not even near
man.
each other. Like, yeah,
And they still miss.
totally got it.
So he wrote this thing where he basically says,
properties.
literally, there was various scenarios presented by some organization. They had all these people come in, and they chose teams. And they were like, even though Trump loses the election, he refuses to concede. And then he mentions there are like other scary scenarios where if nobody wins, then like the right and the left, like civil war erupts. I'm not kidding. The Washington Post published this.
Oh, the Washington Post.
Yes,
I've
yes.
learned that they're a great
They're
source
very
of
trustworthy.
It's even
information.
worse, dude.
Yes.
Hey, democracy dies in darkness.
Okay.
At the
Okay.
Washington
No,
Post.
but listen.
apparently.
The point is, we have one of the most prominent papers in the country. Unfortunately, it's the Washington Post. But they've literally written this thing where they're
Color
saying
range,
our war
partial
game scenario predict a
buffering,
civil war where
audio,
violence erupts.
auto.
And the speculation is that the
Configure
Civil War
video.
ends in the favor of the right, not in the way you might
Man,
think.
I don't even
Okay.
know.
The right
I've
doesn't
never
win the
done this
fighting.
before.
The fighting just in general causes SCOTUS
Advanced
to force
settings.
everything to stop and give Trump the victory.
Hmm.
Like they just say, Trump, you win, everyone stop.
Okay.
So we have that, and then we also have this really, really amazing story. You see, a bunch of people got together, and there was a letter that was drafted, and the letter said we must cancel culture.
Oh wow,
And now it's
that's very
begun.
strong.
Some of the people who've signed the letter, they've already been tried canceling some of these people, and it's like, yes, we saw that coming. But one person's already apologized
Woo.
to the mob,
Record
trying to cancel
time.
them for yes. All right, it was like not even a day.
Don't
And
cancel me for canceling the cancel culture canceling list.
Yeah,
Yes.
people were like, "You want to cancel culture? We'll cancel you." I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
These people are so pathetic, man. Yeah. And so we actually have J.K. Rowling, who has signed this letter as well.
Okay.
And so they've written this thing about it. We'll check that one out. And then if we get to it, I usually we'll tease some of the stories we might talk about. Mortgage-backed securities are apparently their delinquency rate is worse than it was during the Great Recession when the housing market totally collapsed.
Oh, back in 2008.
Yeah, and there's some speculation that we are going to see like worse than the Great Depression.
Wow.
Because everything's like being held together right now by duct tape.
Yep.
All right.
But I'm not entirely convinced. We'll see. What if
Well,
Trump wins?
that's
because
such a
he cheats,
bummer.
Then the economy tanks. Just like combine all of these scenarios everyone's putting together, and then what? Like Mad Max. Trump's
Why
wearing
can't
like
I
spiked
change
leather,
that?
with chains and like riding on a giant roadster or whatever.
All right.
Idiocracy.
Well.
Total idiocracy, man.
Yep.
Well, we other than that, we have a like button, so we'll add it.
That's
take it away.
annoying. I mean, it's a little bit lighter.
Well, people are listening; they have no idea what you're doing right now.
I'm
Follow
smiling
my face right
obnoxiously.
down.
Holding the like
For those
button.
just listening, I'm holding this like button and smiling obnoxiously, hoping you know what I'm
Brightness,
about to do,
contrast.
which is smash it. Yeah.
Well, you're actually punching it.
Don't tell me.
You have to
Tim.
like take both your fists and
Come
like.
on.
I'm sorry, I'm wrong, Tim. You
But
could,
also,
you
don't
could just
forget-
say you're wrong.
Don't
I'm
forget.
used to it
I mean,
by
that
now.
looks
Don't forget to
fine.
smash the subscribe
Oh
button,
yeah.
the notification bell.
This is how
So
I
it's the
smash.
contrast that is
Smash.
all jacked up.
This is considered smashing, Tim.
No, I think you're mashing.
I'm mentally picturing this as Tim's face right now.
Mashing.
Ooh,
Mashing the like button.
mutiny.
Smash
Lovely
the
touch.
Tim's face. I meant like button.
We don't want to smash his face.
Yeah,
no.
Let's talk about this here
No.
story, huh? Let's talk about what if Trump loses?
Good enough right there.
But insists
So now
he
it's bright
won?
color intensity.
How many times have they written articles like this
Multiple.
where it's like
All the time.
it's been there was a funny tweet I saw and it said if you're
White
one of these
balance.
people that's retweeting the story that says Trump is not going to leave the White House,
No, we
you're
want
the rube.
automatic
Like
white
you're
Okay,
the target
that's,
of their.
I mean,
of their
that's
grift.
significantly
They're
better
gonna
than
keep
it
writing
used
these
to be.
stories because they know you're going to keep
Glad
clicking
I'm
on them.
not
And they
terrible.
write new versions every single
That-
time.
Mhm.
Trump will cheat. You know what?
Took
you
far
know
longer
what, like,
than I thought it
Trump
would.
said if he loses.
What?
They were like, "What do you do if you lose?" And he's like, "Then I lose. I don't. What do you mean? Like what?
Yeah.
Like it's a very like boring answer. Like I leave."
Like,
But
what
Joe-
are you talking about?
Joe Biden apparently
Okay.
said something like,
Well,
"I need the military to pull Trump out."
I guess we can just get
Very
started.
exciting.
Why are
Just gonna
they
be
engaging
listening
in
to
this kind
this
of rhetoric? You know what I mean? Like,
Podcast
shouldn't they just keep their
and
mouths
playing
shut?
Fallout.
What do you got?
Pretty
Spritz.
simple.
We got to spritz the
Spritz
cat,
time. We got a
Spritz the
spritz
cat.
event.
and she's gone. Okay, but let's stop worrying about the cats. Let's check out this story. Check it out.
Yeah, yeah.
Nope, I don't want
Well,
that.
actually, here's the first thing.
No,
I'm
no.
gonna do.
I want to actually comment
Okay.
on that because it makes me
Cancel.
think every single thing that's happening is the
All right, we're
Democrats
going in
firing
game.
all
Let's do it.
the weapons they've got.
This needs
That's
to
why
go
Biden's
away.
saying something because they are in
I
a
have
corner
9 million tabs
with
open.
every single blade out, throwing him in every direction. Like, fire everything! Ah! Biden's like, he's gonna cheat. Trump's like, no, I'd leave. What are you talking about?
Well,
I'll,
so
I'll
that's not
walk out of
loud
the
at all.
White
I'd
House.
like to
Like,
retire.
what?
Well, here's-
What
here's-
other
but-
options do
so-
I have?
so
It's like,
look.
yeah.
This scenario is very
So
similar to what
let's
we talked about
turn
before,
down.
where they're like, Trump doesn't win, so they accuse,
Good enough.
Democrats of cheating or claim there was Chinese interference, and then jam up the process so that nobody wins, and then the Supreme Court or the House side with Trump.
Well, didn't the Supreme Court just rule that the states have to give their popular vote to the electoral
No,
votes?
they have to give their
They-
electoral votes
right.
to who wins the
to who wins
in
the
the state
popular vote.
in the state. No.
All
in
right,
the
well,
state.
whoever
in
you
the
are
state.
out there
So,
watching,
so if a state says Donald Trump
I don't
won,
know who
then the
you
electoral
are.
votes have to go to Trump. No
Okay.
faithless
Thanks for
electors,
sticking
because
through
people tried voting for other
this.
random people in 2016.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
just
Okay.
I don't agree with any of this. They're not supposed to do that. Now, interestingly, I mean, the Electoral College vote is a remnant of
it should be
olden
up in
days.
just a second.
that. One of the features of the Electoral College was that you'd send electors to be like, here's
It's just
what our
loading
state has
the
chosen.
actual
So when the state
game
voted for something,
screen.
the elector represents that state. So that still makes sense. For a lot of other reasons, the Electoral College is all about proportional representation.
Right.
And then, we negotiate the power based on the population. So you have senators plus your plus your
3, 2,
your
1.
congressmen. So it's
Damn,
the,
I got
the
that
Electoral
one
College,
good.
in my opinion, is a very, very, very important structure
Okay.
because it makes sure that we don't have majority rule, basically mob majority rule. What I mean is, if you had just a popular vote, then you'd have Chicago, Los
I need
Angeles,
to
and
go
New York.
to.
That's a good
my-
one.
And right, it doesn't work. So what you end up getting is, let's say they find fresh water.
Continue.
And actually, no. We'll use the Great Lakes.
I'm not
as
sure
an
where I
example.
left off because I was
If
messing
Los
around
Angeles
earlier.
if California was facing
Can't
a
remember if
drought,
I had saved it or
and
not.
then it was based on popular vote, California would lobby and be like, why don't we get
that looks
the
much
water
better.
from Chicago?
I
And then
think
New
the-
York would,
I think
depending
the
on which way
picture
they go, it's going to be all about the
on
big
my
cities.
second. Oh
Yeah.
So,
God.
The easiest way I explain this to people is
On
when
my
I went
second
to
monitor
California,
is not
and there
like.
was an area where the well water had run dry.
Well, we're
because
not
the
actually
farmers were
sure of
digging
what,
deeper and
but
deeper and
yeah.
deeper. There was a drought going.
It's
on,
just.
so it's not solely the
I
issue
think it
of
might be
voting.
too bright.
But one of the issues was that they had a lot of surface water in the farms,
Okay.
but because the big cities have more people, they voted the surface water.
So
goes
one
to
of the
cities.
things we can talk about
So now you
today.
had poor people living in rural
is,
areas who had
um,
their surface water taken away from
I got a
them
new
by
mouse
the big cities.
Mm.
So
and kind of also
that's a really good
a
example
mouse
of the problem.
pad.
If you live in the
And it's
middle of nowhere
legit.
and you have a pond, the big city can just vote and come and take it away. They still can do that.
Let's see where we are.
But with
Okay,
with
so
the
that's what
Electoral College,
happened.
It makes it much more difficult
So
for
we got
for
talked
the bigger
to
populations to oppress
by
the
that
smaller
random
states and
woman
smaller
in
populations.
Megaton
Water
saying
wars.
that
And it's coming too.
don't pursue
So anyway,
the
their
Android,
pitch here,
and we got
what I
the
think is interesting about
updated
this story is two
part
things.
of the quest.
First, they say
Replicated
that
man.
basically,
It says continue to search
Trump
for
barely
clues
loses, and Bill Barr claims
to
it was
the
cheating,
android's
and
identity,
then,
or tell Zimmer
like,
he's dead.
Fighting breaks out. and
Learn
the
more
House
about the
rules in
escaped
favor of
android.
Trump. But they also mention here at the bottom
Optional discover
that-
what
do they
Dr.
say?
Preston knows
Far-
about
Hold on, let me see.
the
Yeah,
android.
it's talking about near civil war in the streets. That's
Let's
what they say.
let's show the locations of
The danger of an
those.
undemocratic outcome only grows in other scenarios
Rivet City.
that were
only.
war-gamed by other participants. For instance, what if there is no clear-cut winner on election night, with Biden narrowly ahead in the Electoral College, but with
And there's
Michigan,
our
North Carolina, and
Android
Florida still too
component.
close to call? The participants in that war game concluded the result would be
What other
near
quests
civil
we have?
war in the
10
streets.
penny.
Far-fetched rumors are enough to
those.
bring out armed right-wing militias today. Imagine how
Ask
they
the
would
people about
respond
big
if they
town
imagined that there was an
scientific
actual plot
pursuits
afoot to steal the election from
and the
Cuba.
Wasteland Survival Guide.
Wow.
You know, I actually agree with it
Okay.
because I've talked to some people. I've had people message me saying straight up, if they see,
Yeah.
you know, that the election's being stolen,
Yeah.
the militias will come out.
Yeah, I'm
They're
finally
saying
back
that
to
they're
it.
out right now. Like I don't see
Well, they're
militias
talking
out.
about
This
Gettysburg,
game has
saying
consistently
that the militias that showed up in Gettysburg
well,
fell for the hoax that Antifa was going
totally
to
gotten me
I
to
haven't
come back
seen
to streaming.
anything
I mean,
from
it's just
was there militias that
I
showed
play
up at
this game
Gettysburg?
more than,
I
like,
heard it was happening.
anything
Apparently
else.
so. I've seen
but
articles. I didn't.
I have yet to. I have yet to see. I'm sure people have been talking to me about it, and I'm sure they would have sent me images.
Like, I
there's
come back
people
to
that follow
Fallout
me
3 more
that
than I do
they
Fallout
told
4.
me about that was going to happen. I'm positive they would have sent me something if they showed up. The only militia that I've seen marching down the road is the guys in Georgia.
NFAC.
Well, so
Hold on one sec.
Taunting the supposed right side.
You can't hear me very
Like,
well.
bring it
La
on.
la la
That's
la
like-
la la la.
Well,
Just
yeah,
testing.
Hundreds of people showed up.
Okay, so you do have some here.
Yeah, in Gettysburg.
So it's
There are
Gettysburg.
links to it. Listen, the point is, I agree that right-wing militia groups will come out if they think the election is being
So
stolen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do
But
that. I'm gonna
what
make sure
will
this
they
comes
do?
closer to my
Right?
face.
What they're trying to insinuate is that right-wing militias. I mean, think about what they're saying.
Maybe that's because I
Near civil
changed
war in
it.
the streets, right-wing militias will come out. Are they implying that it's the right-wing militias that will be, milling about with guns?
I
shooting
might need
people
to
and
just
stuff like that?
switch something
'Cause
real
that has
quick.
not happened.
Right.
What has happened is
I
the
have
far-left
the
Antifa
I have
Black
this
Lives
like
Matter groups
podcast going
have
at the same time.
shot many people.
It's true.
I'll turn it
Have there-
down.
Have there been right-wing militias who have engaged in that stuff in recent? Am I forgetting something? I know there have been far-right extremists
Yeah.
who have carried
Okay.
out like lone wolf, terror attacks.
You know you'd remember it because you know they would be talking about it.
Any better? Let me know if
Yeah,
that's any better.
everywhere.
Oh crap.
There would be no escaping that kind of conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
They'd be like, "That's proof."
That they want that to happen.
Welcome
They can't wait. They would love that. They'd be like, oh, ice cream. Let's
me see.
try it out.
I think it's correct that there would be near
The
civil
output's
war
not very
streets, and I've
high.
explained this to some of my friends that.
But it
I'm
looks
"Listen,
like it's
man,
alright.
You've never
Did it get any
faced
better?
down the mob the way
I mean, I'm actually
have.
gonna
There's no reason.
talk directly into the
Like,
mic
there's no
now.
reasoning. You can't argue with them. It's true. So a good example is when Luke
As were
Rudkowski
before, I was
was
not.
in Hamburg for the G20, and he was walking with a local journalist, this guy Max, and someone yelled Nazi Schweinhund,
Yep.
and then random people heard it and started punching him,
Yep.
and like pushing him down.
And they chased him down for
Yeah.
Say I
a while.
turned
And the police
I
rescued
turned
him.
down the talk show.
Luke's a right, like I think he's an anarchist,
Do I
a
have
right wing, like anarcho-capitalist. So
maybe
he actually,
the
I'm pretty sure he hangs
settings
out with, like, right and
in
left-wing
here?
anarcho-types.
Master,
Yeah,
music,
he's not even a wing.
footsteps,
Yeah.
He's like another-
voice.
Yeah,
That's not like
Well, he's
actual
ANCAP,
voices.
broke
is it?
off of the winged animal.
But
that-
he's
I
always
don't
been
think
like
so.
that.
no, it's
right?
true. No, he
Yeah.
stands
But
apart.
my understanding is that the people he hangs out with.
All right, give me some feedback.
Like, I don't want to say.
Are we
anti,
good?
Yeah.
But
No
close
good?
Without the violence, because true anarchists don't believe in it.
Right.
But like,
right.
so he gets pointed out and he gets physically attacked. And that's what I tell my friends. I'm like, when the chaos.
I can't
starts,
tell. I mean, I'm listening
one
to it on
knows
my
if you're on
phone,
their
but
side. But
who
if
knows?
you're wearing very like obvious militia type gear or a right wing looking thing or American flag, you know where you can stand to be safe. I've been in situations where the mob is active, and one example is I think it may have been like June 5th. Could be getting the date wrong. In 2015 or 16, man, I can't remember. But it was in San Jose.
SCP, don't leave me hanging, dude.
And there was a mob of people running around outside of a Trump rally beating people.
As long as you don't
One
mind
guy
cooking it
who was
yourself.
with the crowd got beaten too.
No,
And he was like, why did everybody start hitting me? And I'm like,
because it's a mob that you
Yeah,
you
there's
can't
no-
control them.
yeah. So I've been talking to
Hey
some of my
there.
more lefty friends, and I'm like, listen, I'm telling you, I know you. When this happens, I know which side you'll be on, and you're not going to be on the side of the left wingers. You're not. You think you might be, but you won't be. You might be running around with them, but the moment it gets crazy, you'll be standing behind.
Let
the
me know
right-wing militias
if it's
in
loud
minutes.
enough. I turned
Because,
everything else down.
Like, watch some of these videos, man. These people just start getting reckless and destroying things. They fight each other. There's a video out of Portland a couple days ago that Andy No tweeted about,
Oh God.
where he's like, in the absence
It's
of
like a
police,
whole
they fight themselves.
gang of.
And it happens because some people are like, hey, don't burn this building down, and their side's like, F you, and then they start fighting.
I mean, look at New York right now. Look at Chicago. There's been so many. It's crazy. You know, and then look at what happened in Atlanta. You know, that family was just turning around. They went past the barricade, turned around, and the Black Lives Matter movement shot at them because they were in their zone and killed the 8-year-old.
8-year-old girl is not safe. You will not be safe. I'll tell you what.
John's
I've
Key.
been to events where there have been right-wing militias, like the Oath Keepers and the Three Percenters, and they're the most disciplined people there. And to
let
be
me
fair,
turn
too, I have been to events where there have
those
been
settings up
like
because it does sound
communist,
loud.
socialist armed factions. They are also the most
Effects,
disciplined on the ground.
voices,
And I think it has something to do with the respect for the firearm.
footsteps will just crank
So
up.
like I've actually seen like armed communist people, and they're very like, we don't want any violence, man, because you do not want to go there. But then you have these young people who are just violent and angry. So you know, typically, I think one of the funnier stories is that when I was in Ferguson, the Oath Keepers were there, and a bunch of these Black Lives Matter activists were yelling at them like, "What are you doing?"
I'm also
And then they
just
were like,
not
"We're here to make sure
talking
everyone stays safe."
very
They're like,
loud.
The problem we have is the police, and they're like, "We know. That's why we want to make sure."
I
everyone
could
stays
put
safe."
a
And they're like, "Wait, what?" And the
a
Oath
little
Keepers
bit of
were like,
gain
"This
on the
law, no,
microphone. I
it's
probably could afford to do that
Yeah.
because it is
We
pretty
don't like
close to my
police
mouth.
brutality. We want to make sure everybody stays safe. And they're like, "Oh."
I'm whispering to myself. I'm sorry.
They see in the media what these people are, and yeah, they may be right-wing conservative traditionalists, but they're like anti-violence. They're like, everybody keep calm, stay cool, and they're gonna
Things
make sure
are
everything
like a
else is
little
peaceful.
dark.
When I see, I was actually at an event
It's kind
in
of
Boston,
odd.
and there were 3 percenters. I don't know a whole lot about what that represents.
Same.
But they were stopping the
Is the
right from
picture
engaging
dark
with
on
them.
your end?
So when the
I
left
can't
was,
tell
like,
if it's
trying
just
to
because my
antagonize, it was the
screen is
3
like an
percenters were, like,
OLED
yelling at
screen.
the right, being like, "Knock back off."
And that
back
like
off.
the darks are just like
Yeah,
super
making
dark,
sure
or
none
I
of them
have
were
like the picture
You know, but they were,
totally
like,
wrong.
If they weren't there, it would have been. I think everybody would just clash, start fighting. The cops were there too, but there were a
Oh,
few
I'm getting
people who
shot
walked
at.
over
I'm
to
getting
their
shot
group, and
at.
the 3 percenters pushed the right side back, saying don't engage with them. And it's all. It also has to do, in my opinion, with like optics.
Yeah.
As soon as the right side throws one punch, every camera, boom, that's the front page of every newspaper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They don't care about the left. That's right.
So here's what CNN writes. June 11th. Here's the real danger of it's like on your
I can't
face.
wait.
Yeah, the first paragraph.
Why
is
am
the
I
one
not
I'm really concerned
crouching?
about. Joe Biden said Wednesday night that he
Okay.
believes if President Donald Trump loses the election and refuses to leave the White House, many of the former generals who used to work for him, quote, will escort him from the White House with great dispatch.
Something Joe Biden believes. Great news.
And what?
Great news.
And
Okay,
so
cool.
Biden
I think it's
believes,
just my
like,
phone.
dude, these
I have
people
like a
are in action.
Pixel, and the Pixel has an OLED screen, so like when it's something's dark on it, it's like black, like really dark. So sometimes I can't tell. Like my webcam, which it's getting dark out and my face is going away. But when it
Donald Trump was like on a silver platter for them.
a second ago, I just had to tweak the webcam. I don't know if that was you who was here, but
It's about to be 80. Like the,
Biden?
No, Trump.
74.
Biden.
78.
All right. I got his age wrong, but
Yeah.
the point I was gonna make is, even Trump, the old man, is not gonna like rip his shirt off and then go like John Van Damme fighting the
all right.
generals.
I just missed like literally
What do you
everything.
think's gonna happen?
I know.
Like,
he's gonna mobilize like the army in front of the White House and like fight American
generals?
citizens? No.
Got
There's a
him.
reason he didn't send people into Seattle, because he didn't. That the optics that we were just talking
Right.
about. That's terrible.
But also
that's what the
authority.
Democrats
They
wanted
want-
him to do.
They want
Okay, I
to be
wanted to go
dictators.
over there anyway.
Exactly.
So
So they
yippee!
keep acting like Trump is a fascist, and he's barely using his
So what
power.
games have you been
Yeah.
playing
So it's like
lately?
they think, you know,
You move on to New Vegas, or Fallout 4,
Trump loses narrowly,
or Fallout
and he's gonna be in the
76,
Oval Office,
Traitor.
and his loyalists are going to be
Just
like,
kidding.
"It's the
Nobody plays that
generals.
game.
They're outside to remove you. What do we do?" And he
Oh
rips his shirt
God!
off, and he's got
Now this
cool
fucker
hair, and
comes.
he's like, "We're not going anywhere." That's like, what do you think's going to happen?
Probably that. Probably exactly that, Tim. I'm not joking.
Alex Jones comes out of the roof. I'm with you right now, Mr. President.
Comes out like of a cabinet. Like what? Alex Jones, you've been there the whole time.
Yeah.
takes off the tinfoil hat.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the information.
No. He puts the tinfoil hat on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just so by yeah.
He's about to engage in a battle, and then the
This just makes me think. I can't believe. I'm seriously
This
looking
is a
forward to
nightmare.
the debate.
a day later.
I am like not spec'd into guns at all.
But wait,
Can't wait. All right, I
A
will.
day after the article comes out. Hold on, I got to tell you a little bit more, right? They say the comments which Biden made in an interview with Trevor Noah on the Daily Show is not the first time the former president, and presumptively has suggested that he believes the incumbent may well seek to fit with the results. Quote,
Luckily, they can't hit me either.
Mark my words, Pat. I think he's going to try to kick back the election somehow, come up with some rationale why it can't be held. Biden said in April. But the real danger here, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but here, a day later, this is what we get. Trump says he will do other things if he loses the election. It's so boring.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have a specific noun to represent what he would do.
Now I gotta
Like,
go
dude,
all the
are
way
you kidding
back
me? I have
there,
all these businesses that
get
I've
their
been
loot because they
working
decided
on,
to come
like,
out of
I'm gonna build
nowhere.
buildings and
Oh,
places.
look.
Like what?
Oh,
Put
hell
my name
yeah.
on 'em. That's what he
Wait,
does.
so
Is that why you ran over
let's
here?
dip our toes into real life.
Yeah, please.
U.S. President Donald Trump said he will go on to do other
The
things
best
if he
part of
loses
it
the November 3rd
about
election,
this game
after
is
Democratic
10
opponent
years
Joe Biden
later,
said the Republican might
and
cheat
like 9
and
million times that I
refuse to
played
leave the White
this,
House. Quote,
Man.
certainly
I
if
can
I
still
don't
get
win,
surprised by
I
like
need
new
to know.
stuff.
Go on and do other things, Trump told Fox News.
I'm just looking at that ballot. You guys can't see this, but there's a ballot that came to our
Yeah.
house.
Yep.
We've
And
talked about
we
this
couldn't
before.
vote today.
Yeah. So there's some stuff going on. And I can see that ballot from here. That's not for anyone that lives here,
But none of us got our ballots.
and none of
Yeah.
us got ballots. So that's an issue. And it's weird that they're painting this picture like Trump is gonna cheat. Trump is the one who's gonna cheat. I'm just like, why are you saying that so much?
But the reality is Trump's response is very boring.
Exactly.
Like, everything about Trump has been so much more boring than they've tried to claim.
And then what's up with this? I keep seeing this. Pop up. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
wait, there we go. There
So
we go.
the presumptive Democratic
Because they haven't had the
Presidential-
convention yet.
is he not, or is it
Well, I
Hillary?
guess they
Just make up your mind.
They can't say
DNC.
it. They can't say it.
Why not?
Here-
Oh
What, are they,
god.
what
Because they haven't-
middle of August or something? When
Yeah.
the DNC
End of August.
officially declares he's the only one.
Because they're gonna say Hillary. Or
Because,
something.
yeah.
No, I think it's be Cuomo maybe.
No way.
I have to wonder, man. Are they really helping Trump win? Like, I don't believe it. I'm like, I think about what people and moderates are saying right now. They feel like Trump can't win. They're scared. They're losing their country, and then all of a sudden Trump pulls an upset, and everyone feels inspired. Like, I'll tell you what, man. I've been thinking this since Trump won in the first place, where it's like, actually, it's not even on me. There's a conspiracy theory that Trump is part of the deep state.
Okay.
This is a conspiracy theory, mind you. I'm not saying it's true. The idea is that you look at these photos of Trump and Hillary together.
I cannot
You look at
heal
these
the
photos of,
Chinese
like,
assault
Trump
rifle. That
and-
kind of
and Epstein
sucks.
together. And so there's a conspiracy theory that Trump is a global billionaire elite, but he was propped up as an outsider, still part of their elite circle, so that he can get all of the anti-government, anti-establishment types normally would be opposed, now cheering for him. Hold on. Alex Jones. This is the funniest thing. I remember Alex Jones, like, very anti-government. All of a sudden now he's very pro-Trump.
Oh, I just punched my
So what do you end up
mic.
with?
Dear
You end up
God.
with a lot of these people who are anti-government
Ow.
now actively supporting the federal government because Trump is in it.
Jesus.
It is forcing people to engage. That's the
Alrighty
conspiracy
then.
theory.
Okay.
That
They have
was
used Trump to increase civic
interesting.
engagement.
Sorry,
People
I
were
don't know if that
disenfranchised,
was
no
loud on
confidence in
your
them,
end.
weren't voting. All of a sudden now they're voting. All of a sudden everybody's involved. Sports teams are gone. Everybody's in politics now. It's true. If people stopped caring,
Dude, I
about
hit like
government and
right on
stopped
the
paying
knuckle of
attention,
my
they would lose
pointer
confidence in
finger.
it, and it would
Dear
just
God.
So there are some people believe
Okay.
what we're seeing
Yes,
right now
the
is
Chinese
meant to
assault
make it
rifle is
seem like
freaking awesome.
Trump is
But
the
I've
outside
literally only
underdog,
come across one. I think it's because
he
my
wins, and it restores people's
I think my
faith in
level
the
is
ability
too
to
low
save
still.
their country. But you don't
I
so.
think.
Yeah, there's a
Whoa, no. There is things about what you just said that I agree with, and things that make me
Let's see if
smirk
Grandma
and
Sparkle's
giggle a
got
little
anything
bit.
to trade.
The fact that they would think that he's part of the deep state. 'Cause,
You
I mean,
again.
if you haven't noticed, I've been doing a lot of research, and I'm furthering myself. I know a
was
lot
good
more
to
than
hear.
I did a few months ago. And one of those things that I've been
Grandma
researching
Sparkle.
is Trump. I want to know
That's
about the president.
disappointing.
And I'm like finding out all these things about him that do not fit that narrative. Like that whole deep state thing. It's just
Why not?
I mean, mean, he funded Jesse Jackson's run for president in the 90s. Do you know that? Like, I didn't know that. That's some new information.
How does that mean he's not deep state?
Well, I mean, he's a
Give
civil
me
rights
something.
activist. Like,
All right, I'll trade you a frag
cares about
mine.
the
One
people that
frag
are
mine.
that do work.
But there are a lot of
Wait, can I do another
Democrats
one?
that are pro-establishment that are civil rights activists.
46.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I can do another one.
I guess the argument of him being the deep state, it's like
In on it.
you can say anyone is.
don't care.
You can say that I am. Like anyone could be. It could be a conspiracy, but like I have yet
Right,
to
well,
see
it
any
is.
sort of proof of that sort. All I see is him being.
Well, I mean, I've been
humanitarian.
to
Actually,
answer
like,
your
the things that
question.
he's
I've
done,
been pretty
you know,
okay.
Before he even ran for office.
It reminds
The
me of
whole
South Park episode on
I
the 9/11
forgot
movement,
Okay.
where you told me you're from.
government- The real conspiracy was
Oh,
the
no, I
government
wasn't
was
supposed to
trying
come in
convince
here.
Everyone there's a conspiracy,
Shit.
so that people think they're in control of everything.
And I think my game
And
just
then at the end,
just crashed.
Kyle and Stan like realize, and George W. Bush is there, and they're like, "Wait a minute, you're lying. There is no conspiracy. You made the conspiracy up." And then there's like he gives an explanation where he's like, "We need people to think that we are
Okay, I think my game
all-powerful,
just
otherwise
crashed.
they actually will threaten us." I mean, come on. What if we told people that we actually lost control and a group of people in the cave were able to attack us and get away with it?
Yeah.
We can't have that. So we need people to
Crap.
think. You know, it's like it's a funny thought.
Well, I always thought
shit.
that American doesn't
Alright, one sec.
negotiate with terrorists. That's true, right? You've made it clear.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
And
yeah.
you've explained why.
Task
Well, the
manager
kidnappers,
time.
At least in like
Yep,
foreign countries.
it definitely
I know,
crashed.
but the
just
statement
drop.
goes, America does
And
not negotiate with
task.
terrorists. Period.
Oh, that's
And
weird.
I'm
So, yeah.
fairly certain every
This has been
single person
happening
in
lately.
America has just watched these people just
I don't know
terrorize
why.
and rip statues down
Oh man,
and
they
take
fell on-
over.
they fell on
Option.
bent knee.
Yeah,
And it said,
it's
"My
insane.
leg."
Play.
no, not everybody. You know, not.
Oh no, I have no
certainly
idea
not
when the
me,
last
not
time I
you.
saved
Yeah.
was.
You know, I mean, it's
All the way back in
leaning towards the
Megatime.
Democrats. It's like
Fuck.
the Democratic side of things, but
Dude, I'm not confident. I'm not because the propaganda is
Lord.
so
Okay,
and it's hard to break through.
time to
Like,
redo this bullshit.
on Facebook especially.
It's on Facebook, right?
With people that I don't associate with anymore. I've cut them out of my life. It's insane. The
Somebody-
things they've said to me.
What the far left does to get away. We talked about this the other day, the death by
But
1,000 cuts.
yeah.
I think I actually. I don't know if I have. I do actually have this. This
In
article.
general, what
It's
games
called
do I
Creeping
have?
Normalcy.
Like in
Creeping
all of
normality, sorry.
Steam?
And it's the psychological idea of death by
I
1,000
could
cuts.
tell you.
A process by which a major change
Can
can be
I
accepted
pull it
as
up?
normal and acceptable if it happens slowly through small, often unnoticeable increments of change. The change could otherwise be regarded as
So I
objectionable
have all
if
the
it took place in a
Fallouts
single
except for
step of period.
76.
So the eBay color.
Yes.
Exactly. The
Those
eBay
are creeping normality. Yeah. Okay.
creeping normality.
For those who don't know, eBay changed its colors, and everyone freaked out. And then they switched it back right away, and then slowly over a year, right? Over
Yeah,
a year.
they added like one shade of white,
one shade.
and
different.
no one noticed that a year later it was the whole website. So this is what the far left has done very
So
effectively.
I have all of the
And it's
Fallouts.
funny when like
Well,
so
okay,
there's a post
sorry,
going
I
around
lied.
from
All of the Fallouts that
a
matter.
site
So
that-
3,
there's a
New
dude I
Vegas,
know
and
that I
4.
worked with,
Never
and
played any of the
he's
earlier ones. It just
normal
didn't
journalist,
seem
regular guy, not overly
worth my
political,
time.
and he was trying to find and he found something interesting.
I have
One
all
day,
of the Mass
when he
Effects.
responded,
I bought all of the Mass Effects
He
recently
said
for
something
the
kind of
Steam
not
summer
too great.
sale. I think it was
and he
like
got a ton of followers.
$14 for all
And then
3
he
games.
started doing it more and more.
I
and
have
then all of a sudden he had 10,000
all
followers.
of the
And then I started
Bioshocks. I
talking
bought
about
all
it,
of
and I was
those,
like,
and
"Bro, I
those
can't knock
are,
this off because these people aren't like real
I believe those are all the
followers, they're
remastered
brand.
versions.
You're actually just
So,
a laughing
yeah,
stock of the
haven't
left
played
and the
them,
right. Like, you're gonna
obviously,
have no
because I
respect
keep
for me.
coming back to
You're
this
gonna lose
game.
your job. And he was like, "I'm gaining a ton of followers, man. Like people really like you." Like, no, they don't.
Dopamine kicks.
Yeah.
I
there are
have this
people on the
game
right
called that I mean, I haven't played a lot of my games. They're all brand new that I
That
just
started posting
bought, like,
really
because of the
offensive
Steam
things,
summer sale.
but found that
Oh,
fringe group that
shit.
kept cheering for them
Hold on one
every
sec.
time they would
Gotta
do
get a new
something
gun out.
really edgy.
Yeah.
And then eventually they were just off the deep end and then banned outright because they went too far. The same thing happens.
Oh
on
my
the
god,
left with,
where
like,
did all my
becoming a reply
freaking...
guy. And this person just goes off the deep end, slowly replying more and more, getting more followers until finally they have a horrifying nickname, no respect, their career is over, and they're literally just the butt of a joke.
Yep.
So I forgot what the point I was going to make is before I got wrapped up on
I
that.
knew you would.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was like, I gotta mention this part because the reply guy thing really gets to me. You want me to smash the like
I mean, I haven't played a lot of my games because they're all very new,
Smash
like
it.
recent downloads.
That's the weird thing with some of these people, man. Yeah. What were we talking about before I went off on that
I don't
tangent?
know. Biden.
Creeping
Claim-
normality.
Creeping normality. So I was talking. So the reason I brought this guy up was because there's a
The
meme
other
guy
game that I'm currently
and
playing
people
is one
share
that
it
I'm pretty sure
because
you.
And basically, like, I
Dude, I love Bioshock.
about whether or not there is a
I'm not new to
far-
Bioshock. I played Bioshock when it first came out,
America have over 70,000 members.
but I played it on console.
These are
Dude,
people
Bioshock
who
was a
will
game
maybe
changer.
swear- Have you seen the DSA video?
Which one?
Bioshock has got to be one of the
Personal
best
privilege.
games ever
Hi,
made.
My name is Tim, he, him. I just want to point out that the chattering in this room is really triggering, and I am tired of people. Have you seen that video?
No.
Oh, it's,
I don't know if I want to. Though.
And then
I gotta watch it.
It's
I wanna
so
watch
it's so
everything.
funny because like the guy gets up and he goes, point of personal privilege. Could please keep the chatter to a minimum, guys, please. And then as soon as he says guys, you see someone get up and then go up to the microphone and go, stop using gendered language. That's actually what happened.
Wait. This isn't. I'm sorry. Wait. This wasn't like Saturday Night Live.
It's real.
It wasn't parody.
It's real.
Yeah. See,
It went viral. Everybody made fun of it.
Well,
But listen.
Not surprising. I mean, because would something SNL would do to make fun of it.
We got to talk about the effectiveness of the insidiousness of what Far Left is trying to accomplish.
Dude, these guys
What
are
is
exploding.
Far Left?
Holy balls.
In terms of the economic scale, Far Left is cooperative. Far Right is competitive.
Okay.
So the further left you go in terms of cooperative markets, it's communism. The further right you go in terms of competitive markets, it's laissez-faire capitalism. So if you had someone who said, I think we should
That
have
was
a mixed
nice.
economy, that's what America is. We're a mixed economy. A large portion of our income goes in taxes, but then we have money you choose to spend. And so you have a bit of a command economy. but
Okay.
sort of a free market.
Yeah.
We lean slightly to the right in terms of our market structure. So what would far left be? From where we're standing, you could argue that far left.
I really just want to do like a
is
playthrough of all
like
my
tax
favorite
people
retro
75
games,
rate.
which I've mostly
far left.
done, and my game crashed
If you
again.
want to talk about literal, the farthest left you could go, it would be over communism.
Yeah.
The
You
Democratic-
don't
Why?
get paid. You just do your job and get
Why?
the same amount of food, same amount of whatever.
Right. Well, I love these conversations I've had with people.
I've literally
I
never
actually
had a
haven't,
problem
but I got
with
into
this
it
game
with the,
before.
British Socialist
You
Party,
cursed me.
Goodness.
and boy, did
You
it not
cursed
work out
it.
well for them, of course.
Yeah.
But so does the far left exist? Yes, there is a large group of people, 70,000 plus, not the biggest organization in the world, that advocate for abolishing capitalism outright. You can't go further left than that. That's it. On the economic scale, at least.
Right.
On the cultural scale, there is no real far. I'm sorry. There, no. On the economic scale, there's no far right.
Okay.
There's like Luke Rutkowski, I mentioned him earlier. There you go. You have a
Okay.
small
I'm gonna have to,
group
like,
of,
quick save every 2
libertarian, like, right-wing
seconds.
libertarian ANCAPs.
So I don't have to
In
go
terms of the
back like
major
9 million
large
years.
factions, not a particularly large group of right-wing, full-on laissez-faire capitalists.
Like,
relative.
I've had this game. You
So,
saw my whole
people
first
call
playthrough
far
of this
right
game,
in this
essentially,
is
kinda,
typically
you know,
the
whatever.
cultural far right, meaning
I
traditional
literally never had
and typically
the game
economically.
crash.
A lot of the people
And that
who
was
are
like
far right hold left
my
wing
old ass PC. Like that
So
first
they're
game
basically
I
posting
ever,
memes
or
where
the
they say
first
there's no
PC I
far
ever
left.
built, which was basically just a
And I say
pre-built with a
certain
new
DSAs for that,
graphics
right?
card in it.
They
That like
say
literally
abolishing
never,
profit.
never crashed.
There's, like,
Now I
they
have
don't-
this,
they don't even know
like,
what profit means if they're gonna say that. They're
expensive
basically trying to get
ass
rid of
thing
all
that I
monetary
built,
transactions,
and
abolish
it
capitalism,
crashes. Like
abolish
when I go
police,
into
abolish
buildings,
prisons,
when I go into
complete
buildings,
open
it's the
borders,
worst. Like I don't know
you know,
what the
whole globalization stuff. You can't
like.
go further left
Excuse
than that.
my French,
So
but
yes, they
like,
literally exist.
goddamn, like
There's
every
another
time I
question as
go
to
into a
whether the left is
building.
more dangerous than the right, but I would say that
Every time
the
I
left
go
is
into a
more
building, my
effective
game
in terms
freezes,
of
and I
their
just want to
long-term
like
strategy,
punch my
which
computer.
is psychological manipulation.
Ilhan Omar's speech.
Well,
Emotional.
yes,
I feel like it's
the
because
one
like
subtly
it's not meant to run the
mentioning that we need
graphics
to
so
take down
high.
everything.
but she did it in a clever way.
Like I have to have it
So
on
if
like
those are not familiar, Ilhan
low
Omar said
garbage
that
graphics.
we need to dismantle systems of oppression.
Yeah.
And she
No
said, she
idea
said, so long as the
at
economic
all.
and political system of this country creates inequality,
Just kind of annoying.
you know, that or you know exists, it'll create inequality, and we must.
It's
we
weird
must
that
dismantle
it's-
these systems of oppression wherever they exist. Something
It's
like
getting
Yeah.
closer to 60
So this is
FPS
a
now,
clever,
which is weird because
this
like
is a
before
standard
I was
political
getting like
tactic
80
where
and
if she came out
90,
right now and said,
which
"I
it
would
doesn't
like
do
to completely
because
end
it's like a
capitalism,
capped game.
destroy the American government."
So,
Yeah.
would you call that creeping normality?
Bam.
In
That's
asking-
exactly
I'm
the
just
point.
Damn, dude, I just
No, no,
headshotted
she
the
wasn't asking the question. She said it,
fuck.
but but she made sure to say it in a way where she could have apologists.
What would you
defend
do
her.
if you
That's
had
why I brought it up.
1,000
She didn't
viewers?
say that.
Probably
What she
pause my
said,
game, turn my
oppression.
camera,
But
my
she
other
also
camera
made a
on,
point
and
that
just
it was
talk
like,
to
it's not
them
just
and
the
say
police
how much I love
systems.
them.
It's politics,
It's and then
economics.
well she
Because I
stated
don't
that,
know what
and
it's
then
like
she's
to play video
done
games for
saying it's
1,000
not just
people.
that, it's all forms of oppression, no matter where they lie. It's like, what do you mean by that? What
I'd
exactly are you
probably
talking
cry, but
Well,
I can't cry because I don't have tear
here's
ducts.
what worries me a bit.
That's both like a
There's
joke and
no,
not a joke. I
as
don't
far as
think
I
I've
can
ever
tell,
cried.
legit far right with political power. It's just not a thing. They say, oh, but Donald Trump. I'm like, come on, man. He's moderate.
Oh god, I'm getting shot at.
And the worst things about him,
attack?
That was a
if,
lot.
if we're gonna go based on not our personal,
I can do it.
Vox.com,
I'm also like not super entertaining, so like that's kind of scary. Like my production value is pretty low.
So here's what the left does. Right? They have allies.
Oh no.
They seed fake news. They create as many lies as possible to steer and defame you.
Shit.
And they all keep saying the lie over and
Shit.
over. It works. So there are a few people that I'm friends with that I would consider progressive or leftist. Whenever I
Die.
have a conversation,
Yes.
all of a
Okay,
sudden,
you're hiding
this
behind a
far
pole,
leftist
dude.
will
Boom.
immediately jam up the entire conversation so everyone leaves. They make sure no one
I think I held my breath the whole time. No big deal.
Screech, they make threats, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, I'm out.
You want to know what I was told today? I tweeted this out earlier. Here, let me read it. I was blown away. I mean, I've referenced this conversation, this thread that I've had. It all started from me just saying,
All right, now I
Happy
gotta
July
heal.
4th to all my fellow
Oh
Americans.
boy.
I know we're not perfect, but 244 years ago we laid the groundwork
Shit.
to fix anything that needs fixing, basically.
Yeah.
You know,
To live free.
to live free. And people just start freaking out and attacking me, which led to this one particular person
Poop.
said this to me. Said, "Let us lead. Let us tell you what we need without you having a dissenting opinion or arguing with us. Period. Just listen to us without speaking for once. Amplify our voices and do what we are telling you we need you to do. Period."
Well, that's the super limit.
Whee!
To quote The Simpsons. I don't know if you guys know the Simpsons reference, but it's that episode where Bart is in that boy band and they're singing Yvonne et Nuage, which is joining Navy band.
Okay.
Right.
I'm going to quick save.
And then when Lisa
God, they're
finds out,
there.
She
Like, as
talks
soon
to,
as I
like, the
go
band
over
manager, who's
there-
actually a recruiter, who's like, we have 3 strategies:
Hold on.
subliminal, liminal, and superliminal. She's like, superliminal.
Shit.
And he goes, yes. And then he opens the window and yells to Lenny and Carl, "Hey, you, join the Navy." And they're like, okay. And then, like, later you see them getting on the bus, like joining the Navy or something like that.
Yeah.
But that like what they're telling you right there is overt. They're
Right.
telling you to your face.
How?
We like
freaking
they're telling you
missed.
we've taken the ground, and
Yep.
we can pull the mask off and just tell you outright, you are to be subjugated by us.
That's what
You
I'm
will
saying.
do as you're told.
It's like, no way.
So how do they get other people to support them and stand behind their calls to action? These are the tactics of the far left to suppress cancel culture for one. We will destroy your job. I actually had a guy threaten to call my employer today, and it was like, I'm not kidding.
All right.
It's amazing.
Just give him the number. I was like,
Can it just hit him in the face, please? Thank
I
you.
got to I had a really good
I hate the way this is. It wiggles. Woo! Got him.
This person's rather progressive.
All right.
And then sometimes we'll take it to like a private messenger, and I'll be like, "That was a really
Oh,
great
crap,
point.
I need to
appreciate your time."
save.
And they'll, like, have a nice day.
I don't remember which one
So I
it
made
is.
a comment about the far left being legit, threat,
Top.
things they've asked for,
Yes.
and somebody responded who was extremely out
I
of
made a
tone,
quick save
and
button.
so I just ignored it.
And
Another guy responded, made some really good points about the existence of the far left and the far right.
Yeah.
Looking at the Democratic Party right now,
I'm just now
and
using
for
it.
a long time has never been ideological.
Okay.
And the conservatives, the Republican Party, has actually been ideological.
Give me
for a
that
long
jet.
time. Meaning
Yep.
that the Republican Party has conservatives. They rally around their ideologies, their view of America,
Oh.
their beliefs, and
Got
to an
him.
extent, right?
Yeah.
But typically, it's basically like this idea
Okay.
of America first, Trumpism.
Don't
they're
you dare
beautiful.
come back here with
The
1,000
Democrats are a loose
viewers and make me
coalition of random
cry.
groups that kind of just agree to vote certain ways if it benefits them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's actually a good point. If you look at the Hidden Tribes
might need
report,
it.
you'll see that conservatives are 25% of this country, progressives
2
are 8%.
blood packs.
And then most people who vote Democrat are exhausted majority, they say. or default or uninitiated.
Okay.
The average person voting Democrat isn't really active or paying attention. And so what they argued was,
That was me. That was me.
they argued that
It was.
now that the Democratic Party has found an ideology, it's starting to grow and become more visible. And I'm like, it didn't completely disagree with the point I was making, but it made it, this individual made a good point. We had a great conversation.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, that's
I wonder if
actually
that's
really,
too
really
bright
smart.
now.
Showed me
God,
data
this
and
thing
everything,
is
and I'm like,
terrible. I really
completely
shouldn't be
agree.
putting this.
There's a really interesting point about the
Can I, like,
Democratic Party coming
just
from a
turn it
civil war
around?
and how they've always voted for what was considered to be more progressive, regardless of what progressive meant.
Good.
At a certain point, progressive meant eugenics in the early 1900s.
Alright,
So the
let's hop
Republican
back
Party, based on this graph that was sent
to
me
the
by
other
a
side.
researcher, this guy was a researcher, really fascinating.
No.
The Republican Party has always been slightly conservative. Always. But the definition of conservative changes. They've just stayed true.
Big sad.
Like, in terms of the
Big
relative
sad.
society,
Yeah.
the Democrats fluctuate like crazy, and the Republicans kind of stay where they are.
Okay.
So even to this day, they are not far right. They've never been far right. They've always been fairly, moderate.
Yeah.
And we see that we see that data presented by Pew Research, for instance. But anyway, this other guy, man.
Oh yeah. Tell
He's
me about
like,
it.
you will be first against the wall.
Wow.
Good
Wait,
thing I
wait,
saved.
Wait until it happens, blah blah blah. And then out of nowhere, he's like,
Big sad.
and he's like, you should be afraid, and I'm going to call your employers. He said, I'm going to call the people who employ you. And I was
Okay,
like,
good. I'm on the
there
right
it is.
profile.
This guy doesn't know who I am at all. Cancel culture.
I'm coming after you, Tim.
That was
Try
a
that
threat.
with me.
Listen.
Try to call my employer.
Will it
give
work?
me
Will it
cancel.
work?
Good luck.
This is the point I'm making.
Lovely.
Far left in their tactics.
Yeah.
Cancel culture is real. They know it's real, and they know they can go to the average person and say, I'm going to call your boss, and they'll get scared.
Yep.
And they'll be like, no, please.
And that's why all the polls say Biden's winning.
Perhaps.
Because everyone's like, yeah, I'm voting for Biden. Click.
I loved it, though. I was like, who employs you?
It's definitely randomized
What are you
for
talking
sure.
about?
I wish someone would try that with me.
You call me?
I'd be like, here you go. Here's his number.
Yep.
I wouldn't give out your
You
number.
know what I would do if someone tried canceling you or Lydia or anybody?
What? Tell us,
Yeah,
please.
I insist.
You'd smash the like button?
No.
Here you go. We got.
I would
no?
respond
Oh.
by saying, sir or madam, I take these concerns very seriously. I am shocked at those words that come out of Adam's mouth, and he never told me I'm going to give him a raise. I'm really impressed with what he was saying.
Didn't Cassandra get a raise from her paper?
Oh yeah. So for those that don't know, Cassandra Fairbanks works for Gateway Pundit, but she also has her own paper, and like someone threatened to cancel her.
They
And-
hit up the paper.
Yeah, they hit
They
up
were bombarding her paper.
her own.
Cancel Cassandra.
And she responded from her corporate account saying, we're shocked and appalled by this. We're absolutely going to take action immediately by giving her a raise and a bunch of exclamation points.
Genius.
But here's the point I'm making, right? We mentioned creeping normality.
Oh, where the hell did this
The
come
far
from?
left knows they can threaten you with violence.
Dude, look at this.
Here's what they do.
Headshot.
They
Oh
don't
my
say something
god,
like,
dude.
I will hurt you.
Right.
What they say is,
Every time.
next time I see you,
You're the
you
one
better-
crashing my
you should be
game.
very
I
worried
swear,
about the
man.
people who- and what
You-
they'll do to you. They
You
make sure
came
they
in
don't
here and
cross the
killed
line to
it.
make you look threat.
It's an indirect threat.
They want you to feel threatened.
Right.
And
Every 2
actually, this
seconds,
person may
man.
have broken the law.
End
If you're a bitch, man.
task.
But then they do things like cancel culture.
And
Hey, I'm also going to call your
close.
boss. What am I supposed to say to that? Even if I had a job, let's say I worked at McDonald's, am I going to be alive?
Did you
Oh,
get a
no!
snacky
I'm
snack?
so sorry. I agree with you now.
Right.
I will delete
Hold
my
on,
posts.
I'm gonna take
what do they
this
think is gonna
down.
happen? But it shows that
That
they
doesn't
really
work,
do
though.
view this low-tier terrorism as an effective tool. It's death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah, cancel culture.
Alrighty.
It's their new
We
machine
are-
gun.
We are at a point.
I'm not sure if
where
you
thank
heard
God
what my
you
response
can't call
was
their
to your
boss,
last
because they won't
question.
do anything.
Yeah.
Like the easiest example
So you're gonna have to
You got
go
a
back
video
and watch that.
of a dude walking with a 6-year-old daughter in New York City,
Terrible video.
Not
shot.
really though.
killed. No riots.
I said
no
I would cry.
protests, No brand message.
Nope.
No flags. No Facebook. Nothing.
And
Because
like
it
I also
doesn't
said that
fit
was very
their
hard because
institutional
I
control.
can't cry
It
because I
doesn't
don't
matter.
have tear
Yeah,
They
ducts.
that
know.
really pisses me off. That video tears me apart.
Yep.
It tore me up watching that video.
Yeah, it's messed up. So here's what happens. If you are not in league with their ideology, and if I were to call this guy's boss and say he's threatening me, they're gonna be like, I don't care.
You know, I told someone about that. I was making these. I was having a private conversation with somebody from this thread, you know, who is a closer friend of mine, talking about these things that are happening. And
didn't believe it.
Where did you get your information from? I saw the video with my own eyes. Oh, on YouTube? Oh, you saw it on YouTube? Well, YouTube is an incredible source. It's more of a social media platform. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I saw the video. I watched the girl run away.
Yeah.
Like, how is that? How is that not like something that actually happened? How? Explain to
Bloody
me why
mess
you're
is
not
one
outraged right
hell
now.
of a perk.
Because
Well, change can happen.
they want to hear from some
No.
journalist.
Give
that
me.
Yeah.
Then they'll believe it. Well, so here's what happens.
I really want to take this
If
minigun,
I call this
but
guy's boss and say he's
that's
threatening
18
me,
pounds.
they're going to be like, I'm sorry about that, but what do you want us to do about it? If he calls, like a theater worker's boss, for instance, and says they were, saying all these things, the theater's going to be like, we're so sorry, we'll fire them immediately.
I wonder if I'll be able to make it to Grandma
Because
Sparkle without crashing again.
People know what you're allowed to criticize and what you're not allowed to criticize.
The world may never know.
Let me see if I have this tweet right here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now legal for you to paint a political message that supports Black Lives Matter, and if you paint over it, that is a hate crime. We now have this breaking story from KCBS 106.9. The Martinez couple caught on video painting
what
over
am
the
I
approved
looking
Black
to
Lives Matter
do?
mural are being charged with a hate crime. That's from the Contra Costa County District Attorney's Office. Yep, hate crime.
Wow.
It is a hate crime. So here's my concern. First, the mural was approved by the city.
Yep.
Why is the city approving people's right to paint on the street?
Yeah, I don't understand it. What pisses me off is, we talked about this yesterday.
All right,
after
Grandma
the show.
Sparkle, we made it.
You can burn an American flag legally.
Yep.
But if you burn a rainbow flag,
Hate crime.
that's a hate crime.
Yes, it is.
How is burning an American flag not a hate crime?
Lurks
You are
ain't got
basically
you yet,
saying
I
hate
see.
America.
You
No,
need
hate
some
crime.
trading?
Oh, minorities, right?
You should
is that
play a
what it is?
game
Protected
called
classes.
Cross Out. I
Protected
think it's
classes,
free on Steam.
So if you
I
burn an American
will
flag,
definitely
it'll
go
show
download it.
and say free speech,
What
and if
are
burn
you
a rainbow
doing out
flag, it will
here?
say hate speech. It's a hate crime.
Interested in
So
trading?
that's actually because the argument is that
I'm just gonna
by
give her
burning the rainbow
my.
flag, you're intimidating a protected class. So there is a difference, though. I want to make sure I'm clear.
Pre-war book.
In the specific case where this came up, it was because
And
the guy burned the rainbow
cigarettes.
flag and then threw it in front of a gay bar, I think.
Oh, okay.
And so they argued that was, intimidated.
What do you do in
However, the
Cross
argument is
Out?
that people routinely burn flags
Sorry, I
at
never
political
finished that
events
question that
or
you
people
had.
support America, and it's not,
It's like
so this argument-
Minecraft
Yeah,
Mad
what's a bigger
Max
platform
type
than
game.
Internet now. That is the
And it's
largest
fully
platform that we have
multiplayer.
access to. Everyone
Well,
has
shit.
access to it. So it's much bigger than
Sounds legit.
One bar. It reaches
Are you gonna
everybody.
play?
Anyone can
Do you
share
play it?
It can reach
Are we
anyone.
gonna
So
team
what's
up
the
and
difference?
destroy?
It's a hate crime.
I literally have like no
Breaking
friends
flag.
that play
All
it
of them.
Well,
on
Either make it all illegal
on, like, PC
or
with
none of it.
me.
National origin. Is
Everyone just plays
Oh, like American.
So then it
Um,
is a hate
So
crime.
if you're burning the
other
American flag
console.
specifically
Holy.
to intimidate or
Bleep.
shock people from America,
I'm
which I
tired.
argue makes sense.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure national origin is protected. You want to look that
We'll
up?
see you real
National origin,
soon.
I think it is.
1964.
It should either all be legal or all be illegal. I'm
Well,
sick of this hypocrisy. It's
That's
ridiculous.
that's liberalism.
Yeah.
The true definition, not the colloquial, like, I really hate when people call the left liberals. They are not liberals. They
I
have
know.
not been liberals for a very, very
And
long
it doesn't
I don't
have.
think they know the true meaning of liberal.
so
Enlighten us.
You don't have a PC at all?
liberal,
You don't have like a
is
laptop?
wide
What are you
encompassing
looking at right now? Like, what are you what are you watching
which
on?
means the true definition
Probably a
of the word. It's
phone.
why you hear people say they're classical liberals.
Probably a phone.
So this is a reference to like the early conservatives.
Oh boy.
So, the United States is what's called a liberal democracy.
Can we explain
It's
why
not a
I'm
reference
getting
to being leftist
40
or being a
FPS?
democracy. It's a reference to the institutions we use, democratic voting process, and liberalism in the sense
Why
that
am I getting
we give
40
our consent to be
FPS?
governed.
Okay.
To varying degrees. I know a lot of
Right.
people are like, I don't agree with taxes, it's theft. It's like, but we were born here in a system that was already created, so we can have that argument. But typically, Western countries are called liberal democracies.
Yeah.
The left is anti-liberal. They are illiberal. Okay, illiberal meaning they don't believe in free speech.
Ah.
They don't believe in individual
Well,
freedoms.
that
They don't
will
believe
do
the
it.
consent of the government is required for the government to tell them what to do.
Well, you can speak free if you believe exactly the way they do.
So this is
That's it.
actually listen. The liberalism thing is all it all makes sense. These are people who believe that the
Huh.
world will end because of climate change,
I didn't
because
expect my CPU to be at
refuse to adhere to the way they see the world.
option
So if
toggle mini
if,
mode.
you know, you got that aluminum can right there.
I didn't expect my
Well, why don't
CPU to be
you use
working so.
recyclable
Oh,
bamboo
streaming.
you
What
know,
am I
cans or
talking
whatever.
about? Of course
Actually,
I
those
did.
metal cans are very, very recyclable.
Oh, but the recycling process produces a ton of CO2. If you used bamboo, it
Damn.
would be biodegradable.
All right, sorry.
Sure,
Had to
all of the
pause it real
computers
quick
that they're
and do
tweeting
that.
on are even more detrimental.
Excuse me, I'm more effective this way.
Oh my
How
gosh.
dare you, bigot?
I
I'm allowed to do these things and you're not.
I
That's
turned the
liberalism.
settings down and it
Rules for thee, but not
Yeah,
for me.
exactly.
I'm seeing it everywhere.
crashing,
So
crashing, and
these
it's
people are
crashing
like,
down.
they really think this
Yeah, I
way.
wish I could play the
I
music
should
or
be
it
able
would
to,
get
you know,
like
I should be able to use
copyrighted
computers
on
because I'm fighting to save
on
the world.
YouTube
If
when I
only these
upload
other
this.
people stopped, the world would be saved.
Yeah.
So they want to be the kings, so they can.
I usually
force you
just
to
play
live
the
a bamboo
Enclave
life
radio and
with
then I'm
loincloth
pretty
and no
okay.
technology. They'll have the technology to make sure everyone lives properly.
Because those
the
aren't
way they
real
see fit.
songs.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's literally what the far left advocates for. The opposite of liberal. So right now you have, I think, I think it's funny whenever you see people arguing about what is or isn't the factions of the culture war,
Okay.
and it really is.
Alright, well,
just
they didn't even
I love
care
it.
about attacking
First
me.
of all, like, one of the first things I heard is, I think it was Milo Yiannopoulos who said this. It's authoritarianism versus libertarianism. You have the authoritarian factions who want to tell you how to live your life, and then you have the libertarian factions who want to respect individuality and stuff like that. I think that makes a lot of sense.
I do too.
But then I've heard people say, that's not true. It's the nationalists versus the globalists. And I'm like, I actually don't agree with that because
Who
I'm
the
not
shit are
an
they
overt
beating up?
nationalist in that sense. But maybe that makes sense a little bit.
I mean, everyone's different. Everyone wants to put everyone on each thing. No. I mean, everyone can be different.
God.
Everyone can have a little bit of aspects of everything. It's like, it's whether you're letting your emotions control it or the logical side of it
There's
control it.
someone else's definition of what the factions of the culture war is.
You're absolutely right. And there's different versions of that. They're all different.
Then when you listen to the academic, intellectual dark web types, they say postmodern worldview of subjective truth versus those who believe in it.
Alright, we did it.
Okay.
They're dead.
I'm like, these are all kind of true.
Right.
But it's like, maybe that's just not
Kinda.
like one faction and one faction. Maybe it's like...
Which one of the enclaves is real? Like the Yankee Doodle or something like that?
Because, like, I don't base my identity around nationalism. I do love America, but I don't
Same.
walk around thinking like, oh no, they're threatening to dissolve our borders and stuff. My thing is more about individual freedoms, respect, whether it's in this country or anyone else's.
Yeah.
You know, cancel culture extends to the UK. I have friends in the UK who are subjected to this stuff. But then there are people whose identity is purely based on nationalism and protecting America. And so we might find that we agree on many issues because of what America stands for.
Yeah.
And then their view is like, here's what cancel culture really is. Ultimately, what I think cancel culture comes down to is whether or not you believe in... I believe authoritarian versus libertarian is the best way. I really do.
Yeah.
Because, you end up with like...
Hunting
Dave
rifle.
Rubin, a gay married man, classical liberal, having a sit-down conversation with Ben Shapiro, an Orthodox Jew, where Ben straight up says, I don't agree with, how you live your life, and their friends having a conversation in complete disagreement. And that's what, you can see two people who clearly are of different factions
Right.
in agreement about what's more important to them, living peacefully together, versus what the other side is trying to do to them,
Tear
So
it all down.
it's really interesting when you look at, there was a graph charting Clinton
The volume's
voters and
getting
Trump
silent
voters.
again?
Trump
Like my
voters
talking
were
or the game?
ideologically across the spectrum, except for social justice, like intersectionalism.
Of course.
Clinton voters were clustered almost entirely. And so, among the Trump's base,
There's
you
also
had some
nothing
people
being
who were considered
played.
half conservative, half liberal, on economic policy and cultural policy. When it came to Hillary Clinton, it was like a huge far left cluster of intersectionality and like racial justice stuff.
What a surprise.
Both?
Yeah.
What
so
the
that makes
frick?
sense. Trump
I mean, there was
was
also
a
nothing
weird
like happening at the
coalition
moment.
that he pulled off.
Oh,
I'm
man,
about to
I
be
saw
doing a
video
bunch of
today all
sneaking.
the pundits talking about how it was a joke. Down. Can't believe No, Trump. This was like
Sure,
2015.
sure, it's loud now.
Oh man, it's hilarious.
One of the most
It's
classic
hilarious.
clips is when Ann Coulter was on Bill Maher.
Yes, exactly.
It's like,
I
of
saw that.
the Republicans running now, who do you think is a chance to win? And she goes, of them now, Donald Trump. And then everyone laughs.
And she held her ground though. She was like,
yep.
I'm serious. Like, was like,
Why are you
man, she
laughing?"
called it.
Hey,
Everybody.
man, but pay attention to what she's saying because she has not been too kind to Trump.
Yeah.
No.
No way. Yeah, she's been tearing into
Place the observer in the
So I have to
spawning
wonder about some of
pod.
these higher profile people who may be in on the know and maybe seeing some inner dialogue, like inner circle dialogues. What do they really know? Maybe Trump isn't going to win.
Who
Listen,
knows?
man. In 2016, I was like, there's no way they would let Trump win.
Well, I didn't vote in 2016. A lot of people are telling me they didn't vote ever. They didn't vote for many years. Doesn't matter. I'm hearing it all the time. Thanks for standing up. Thanks for saying that. I've never voted, but I'm absolutely voting. I'm absolutely paying attention.
I hear you.
You're right, though. It forced everyone to be political, into this. And, I mean, everyone's seeing the crazy hypocrisy that's happening from COVID to the... You're not allowed to go to
riots.
churches. They're canceling church? Like, really? You can't go to church. You can't sing. Like, I'm not very religious. But, man, this is a free country.
Now I have to speed run this? Oh, God.
Worship
I'm
whoever you
dead.
wanna worship.
I'm dead.
Well, so the hypocrisy is driving me
Your
crazy.
repair
and
skill is
I-
not high enough to
I
fix
know
this
it's
broken
driving
door,
a
but
lot
it seems
of
it has been
crazy.
tampered
Well,
with.
all that may be, Adam.
Yeah.
But the one thing you're forgetting is, will they cheat?
An election?
Yep.
Well, I mean, every single time I look over that ballot right there, and then I think about how Biden's making it a big deal. Like, Trump's gonna cheat. Trump's gonna cheat. Trump's like, no, I'll leave. Like, no, I'm good. And if I lose, I lose.
Today's election
How
day.
would we know?
Listen.
How would we know? That's my question.
I'll tell you. Today's election day.
Uh-huh.
I got a primary ballot application, mail-in ballot application.
Okay.
I received no notice for what it was for.
Okay.
I had no idea why I received it. There was no notice.
Am I still like invisible? Like,
Here's
what
a
the
big
hell?
explanation of what's happening, why it's happening, and here's what you need to do. So one day, I see we have mail. What is it? An official mail-in ballot sitting right there for someone who does not live here,
Yeah.
who didn't request one. I get an application. I do live here. Today's election day. I didn't vote. You know why? I had no idea where to go, and I couldn't figure it out.
Really?
Well, first of all, I have very little time throughout the day. I have a window of like 2 hours after my first session, then we start preparing.
Man, there's a lot of stuff in
So
here.
once I finished, I went to the
I
website.
didn't know
where they
people
were like,
really
"Here's
actually
what
set
all
up
the information
shop.
you need." Nothing was there. Then someone said it's all mail-in voting. There's no ballot boxes anymore. That leads me to believe we won't see record voter turnout. We'll see record vote. How many people are like, I have no idea how to do this? Look, man, when I voted before, they're like, I wake up, it's like it's voting day. And then
Did I
would
do it?
go
I did it.
online, but here's your voting location. I walk in, there's the sign, I walk up.
Sorry, hold on a sec. I did
I
not see. I
have
was
no
too
idea
busy
what's
running from
I
these
have a
minor
free
lyrics.
holiday.
Well, you can make
Do
that argument.
you
The point
think
is, I don't know where to go.
feminist
Yeah.
The website was down. The website didn't work.
feminist people
And so
who
I was
are
like, I
rude
don't
to
know
the
what I'm
opposite
supposed to
gender?
do.
Just a
No,
random
I
question, no
can't
right
vote
answer.
anyway. Vote, I guess vote in the
Do you
Democratic
think
primary.
feminists
Harold, wait. Give me that button right now.
are
I need
people?
to hit that button.
We have a special
Wait,
surprise.
reword that
right now.
You
question.
gotta hold it up to the microphone.
I will. Oh, I will.
I don't know what a
Get my zoom in shot.
what's a feminister per
Oh, yeah,
people.
yeah.
Oh crap!
Someone sent us that. Do it again. How dare I what? Not vote? The sound bar was like good, but somebody did this recording where you press it.
It's pretty good. Whoever sent that to us, thank you. Thank you very much.
Greta Thunberg, how
Oh
dare you.
god!
We gotta get the soundboard.
Oh my god!
We have priorities.
How do I get out of here?
Prepping and moving.
I didn't know what I was gonna vote for anyway. It's primary day. There's a couple
Shit.
people running for the Democratic primary in our district. I don't really care all that much, to be honest. I was like, I would go and vote, at the last minute if I knew what to do. But considering it was like, I guess I'm not gonna go.
Yeah.
So my question is, look, in 2016, I was talking to some personalities, some finance personalities, who told
Oh.
me that they
Do you think feminists are people
they-
whom
they
are
were here at the
rude
time, based on the
to
media reports,
opposite
Trump was a
gender?
clown,
So,
everyone hated him.
do I think
And they
feminists
thought Clinton had it
are rude to
bad. Hey, you just hit the camera.
men
Yeah, you just totally knocked the camera.
I didn't do that.
in general?
Can you?
I'll fix it.
So they were.
I think
were
they
here at
sure
the time,
can be, and I think
they saw
that
the media reports saying Hillary Clinton was.
I think that
Then they came back to the United States. Actually,
the feminists that you hear most about are the ones that would make people think that feminists
little
are
less.
mean
So hold on,
and
when they got here,
and things like that.
Okay.
when they got here,
but
so
a
Trump's
majority
That's when they
of
realized
people
Trump was
who
a
are
racist.
feminists or identify as feminists or
And the
whatever,
point, I
no,
think, is
they're
actually
not
the
mean
point you
people.
bring up, where when you drive around
Um,
here, this
and I think that is
it's like D+,
something
you
that
drive around here, you see
most
all the Trump signs.
I never saw the Biden
people
sign,
who
I'll tell you
identify
that.
into
Yeah, there's no
certain
Biden signs.
categories,
I saw
I
Trump
feel
signs.
like that applies to
There's
most
Trump signs
people.
around
Most
the
of them are normal,
I wonder if like a Biden
you know,
sign is
normal,
already on the
whatever.
website. It might be worth checking
Um,
already.
there are some that make
I've never
them
seen one.
seem like bad people or whatever. And you can apply that to anything, not just feminists
I'm not
or
gonna-
haven't.
I'm
No,
whatever.
not-
Like
I'm
some
not
people don't
trying
like
to figure it out,
religion
like,
because
I don't think
Somebody
so.
planted a Trump flag in
uh,
a lake by our house.
because you hear
And it's not
about
a
how
rule, like, you
a
actually go on,
priest,
it's like a
one
different
priest did
page, it's like
something, and
Bog.
it would be wrong to generalize that
Somebody
all
went out there
priests
and
are bad
planted a Trump
people or
flag.
all
Yeah.
religious people are evil because they
The
believe
reason I
in
read the
something
story
that you
in
don't.
2016 is that even though there were
But
people that were like,
you hear
wow,
about
so
the
this is what
bad
I
one
realized you
more
did.
often than you hear
my mentality
about the
whole
good
time
one.
was like, they'll never let
That's
me
kind of my
I do
take
not
on
view,
things like that.
the system
I mean, it doesn't
as
mean I necessarily agree with all qualities of
fair.
feminism or
These
whatever,
people are all super wealthy, do
but
nothing,
as long as they're
wealthy,
not
corrupt. I view the
rude,
whole system
then
as
I mean,
corrupt, full of corrupt
I don't
incumbents.
mind.
And then
I
somehow
agree.
Trump
I
won.
tend to be tolerant.
A lot of these old crony corrupt Republicans have retired or quit.
I'd rather believe that people
They're
are,
like, I'm out.
you know, relatively nicer for the
Plenty of
most part.
Democrats that have been around for 50 years.
Yeah, the system is just being occupied by lazy do-nothings who are just like,
No, and they're raking in money from lobbyists and stuff.
listen, man.
Sitting, changing laws for whatever they feel like, basically.
Trump wants to pull our troops out of Afghanistan.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Everybody's resisting it. I cannot imagine they would let him win.
Right.
You know, whatever that means, I have no idea. But how
I don't know how to get out of here. Help me.
Crony politicians that are blocking him from bringing our
What
troops
is happening?
Red pill.
Get me out of here.
Everyone's getting red pilled. People are home from COVID. They're not working.
So the
They're paying-
Democrats did
they're
that.
paying attention. Exactly my point. Yes, I know they did. Everyone's at home
Oh,
going, what are the
no.
Democrats doing? What's going on in these Democrat cities?
I would do it.
Oh, I just backed myself into a
Because they think that
freaking
it's-
hole.
Like, when Bernie lost in 2016, right? Knew that he took Hillary's voter base away from her. Right? It was a much higher chance that she would have won if the Bernie supporter if Bernie was never a part of the situation, right?
I think it's possible.
No, I know.
Talk about this.
Yeah, that's what I'm referencing that conversation. You know,
Get
we
me
talked
the
about
fuck out of here. Oh, I made it. Sort of.
That's my point. They started pandering because they wanted that grassroots. They were like, oh, maybe that is what works. And you just said, you know, it's a big bubble of SJWs. That's who her voter base was already. And then Hillary Clinton, right?
So no, I don't think Hillary's was.
No, that's what you just said earlier.
What do you mean?
When you were comparing
Okay,
Trump
now I'm gonna
versus
fast
Hillary
travel.
in the 2016 election, and Trump's
I will
supporters
answer,
were all
look
over
at
the
your
place
question in
with their
just a second.
ideologies, whereas
Oh, no,
Hillary,
no, that's
Okay.
Hillary's.
what?
The conservatives.
Well,
and I-
most, not all
Anything you
feminists
did
are
No, but you were talking
accused
specifically about Hillary versus
the
Trump
male
and how all the
gender
Trump
of
supporters
rape,
were kinda all
sexual
over the place, but
harassment.
Hillary supporters were all in this little bubble. I'm
Oh,
referencing what you just told me
the Democratic
Um,
voter
20
base.
minutes ago.
expand,
So on the
expand on
graph
that
of
idea
economic
because I'm
left
not
and right,
exactly
some
sure
supports both
what you're
liberal
trying to
Okay, so
say.
now moving forward,
Most,
now we're in
not all
2020,
feminists
they're
actually
going, "It's election year.
accused the
We
male
need to
gender
give
of
up all
rape,
these-
sexual.
these
Oh,
gr-
sorry,
this
I didn't read it as one
grassroots,
idea.
Movement.
Most, not all
get
feminists
Black
actually
Lives
accused.
Matter,
Yes,
you know, there's
okay.
this whole conspiracy
So,
about the
I agree.
actual funding, you know, that
I
that's funding
or I
Biden's
shouldn't say I
campaign.
agree.
You
I
know, lots of other stuff. It's like
understand
they're
that
leaning in as hard
most
as
of them
possible
do,
to try to get as many of these.
and this is
youth.
murky
You know,
water.
you see Pelosi
but
saying we should lower
I
the voting
I
age to
I
16.
understand.
I'm 36.
It
I
doesn't
didn't know who I
necessarily
was-
mean
what I
I'm
was
going to
doing
believe
politically until
them.
yesterday.
And 18 is
Yeah.
I'm going to.
18? I
Yeah,
had no
you need
clue.
something.
It would capture a lot of votes.
I
if they
mean,
lowered
it's
it.
how our
know,
justice
they know
system
it.
Voter
in
turnout
this
among
circumstance is supposed to be run.
Right.
You know, I say
But
supposed to because it doesn't
still more
always work
votes
the way.
than the
But
bracket
it's
votes.
innocent
Right,
until
so that's
proven
what
guilty.
Ridiculous.
That's what this
Now,
is all. It's all them leaning in
the-
to try to get to scoop in as many of these.
The,
the minorities,
The
people
topic that
follow
you
the
have
homeless,
specifically
you know?
chosen
What do you got?
is a hard
I think
one
it's a backfire on
to.
them because I was reading
deal with just by the nature of it. You can't see
Really?
particularly easy the effects of rape.
Yeah, college is where
You know, you can't quantify it to be able to
What's up with that?
I don't know. I don't get it.
convict somebody unless there was, you know, physical residue, we'll call it. And of course it crashed. So that's very hard to prove sometimes.
Because
But I
it's
think
a masculine look.
the one
They
thing that
want-
I'll say about your
we
comment
talk
is that
about
a
sex
lot
men
of
versus, like, male
or
versus
most
female
or
a couple
whatever
times, you know,
of
how, like, when you're
females
younger, a
think
female
they
is
have
more-
been,
has more
yeah, that's
opportunities, and then it goes down. as
that's
you
what
go,
you would
and then
call
the
an
man is different.
overgeneralization. That would
So
be
as they get older, they see
people not
older men
understanding
are
or
more
girls not
privileged
understanding
in a
that
sense, you know,
just
they get
because you
more.
had
So
an
it's
awkward
not
hookup when you
surprising
were
to
drunk
know that
doesn't make
as
it's
they get
rape.
older, they're like, "Well, I want a piece of
Because,
that.
well,
I'm losing what I
let's
had,
just say you both
and
are
now I'm
drunk and
getting
you have a
older,
hookup.
I'm losing some of that
Well, guess
aspect
what?
of
He was drunk too. You raped
not
him.
even yet, but,
He
you
it
kinda
wasn't
see
just
how
him who
they
raped
play a part in
you.
it. They wanna be a little more
It's like assuming that only men can do
because
sex.
most parents probably
Women
don't
can
teach them,
only
like,
have
it
sex
sucks
had to
and
them.
you have to work hard.
That's like
Snowplow
a very
falls? Yes, it does if you aren't prepared for it. If you think
like
you're
that. It's
entitled
like a
to
one-sided
everything,
thing
it
to look
sucks.
at it.
I don't think.
But if you know you got to work for
A
it, if you got to get
feminist
out
was
into life
out
and actually
looking
do
for a
work, wake
cat
up
or a
every day and
dog or
actually
something
work
like
towards
that,
something,
holding a flag.
then it's
I'm
not that
just
hard
asked, what
because
is she?
it's something you're used
Why is
to.
she
But
crying?
when
And
your parents are like, oh no,
I think
you got
accused him of
this,
sexual
let me clear
assault.
all of the problems away
No,
from you.
I hear what
Life is amazing.
I get what
Of
you're
course
saying,
it
but
sucks then.
But no, whether or not
Yeah,
you are
well,
happy
in
with
that
it has nothing to do with your
circumstance,
ability.
I
It has to do
mean,
with whether
I
you're
think it's within your right to call that person a crazy
These people have
person.
become the ultimate
That's the
pessimists.
kind of person
Well,
that
yeah, of
that
course, because
ruins the
they
name
think
of
they grew up
a
thinking
actual
that it was gonna be
feminist.
easy for them.
No.
And I hate the word feminist, just I just do. But a person really took 8 seconds to crash my game.
And so they're extremely just
A real feminist is just somebody who, it's like first wave. Okay, this is like you can get deep
It's
into
an
this crap,
addiction.
but
They're addicted to that
like
anger.
first wave
It's
feminism
like
was
a
like
s-
the
an
feminists from
avalanche
like
with a snowball
the
that's
1980s
slowly
and
growing
90s.
anger in colleges and whatever, and it's-
Now,
it's
as a
running over the
person,
people
that's
that
what
are-
I
that are
would
getting it while
consider
they wanna
actual
be angry.
feminism.
They're like,
It's
"Oh, I
it's
can jump
where
into this
all these
snowball
emotions and
that's
weird
bigger and
cancel
bigger with
culture and
people that are
hating
also-
people.
so they're spreading that message.
That's not
Come be
real.
angry with us.
That's
Let's
not
go
the
be
real
angry
feminism.
together
The real
at the
feminism
system
is
that is trying to
getting
bring us down. It's like,
equality
well,
so
you
that
don't
they
even
have the
wanna work for it.
opportunity
You just wanna be angry.
to
Let go of the
beat
anger,
and
just
or
work.
be
And then
equal to
Guys,
men.
like, I'm
You
mad.
know,
Yep.
aka having a
I want
woman boss
Exactly.
who
I know,
does the
that's-
same work as a
what I see.
dude.
You know, I was told
And
when I
then
was
you
a kid,
can
some
get into
people,
the whole
they like
wage gap thing, which is a
definitely
myth.
like it. And when I was little, I didn't quite
It's
understand.
Yeah.
just
Seeing
yeah,
his
not a
life to
thing.
to a child's
The
mind,
game crashed
paradoxically,
a
how could
fucking
you
again.
like not liking something. No. You have to understand the complexities. That negative feeling when they wake up
But
and they wallow
I mean
in
that's a
self-pity,
conversation to be had.
It's satisfying to them in some capacity.
Why
Well, and,
people think
you know,
there
it-
is
when
a
you
wage
come
gap
across
and
the
why
first person
feminism
that
is
sees that
seen
and
so
goes,
poorly
"Oh,
nowadays.
let me help you.
I think it's because
let
of
me be there for you.
you know.
It feels so good.
I mean,
No,
nothing against younger people, but they're
how does that not make
I
sense?
mean, I'm pretty
When
young.
you
I'm
try
pretty sure you're
engaging
pretty
with
damn
people who are
young.
screaming, they don't respond by being happy.
You're not engaging.
They're
to these people
I don't know.
with
It's
No.
it's such a
No, I'm talking
deep
about that
deep,
snowball. That snowball that's rolling down.
Listen,
hole
They're the ones that are
to
going
get down
the people that
into
are
about what is the actual
in their- in
cause
their own
and what is the
perception.
actual belief versus what is actually being perceived and learned and absorbed by the people.
Do not understand the past 10 years of my life. When I would go down to these parks, when I was in Occupy Wall Street,
Okay.
and someone would start ranting about oppression and stuff, and I would be like, I hear you, man. I'm so sorry that happens to you. They respond with more anger. More anger.
Okay.
Straight up. I was talking to one very high-profile Black Lives Matter person
Sure.
who was doing this big rant. Someone tagged me in it for some reason.
It
It was
appears
something
you
I
were-
covered.
Good
And I
evening,
responded
madam.
By saying directly to the guy,
What can
I
I
hear
do
you,
for
man.
you?
I'm sorry about those experiences. Tell me what's going on.
Okay.
And his response was to condemn
Certainly.
me and just go angrier times 10. I've been on the ground where I've interviewed people where they're like really, really angry, and I'm like, would you like to tell me like what's going on? No, because you're part of the problem, screaming. And I'll be like, I'm sorry, I had no idea. No, don't tell me you're sorry.
Oh, I didn't sleep?
They get angrier.
Okay, that doesn't prove me wrong. That's you personally. You.
When
I'm talking about as a whole. I'm talking about the average.
They do not feel satisfaction when you calmly talk to them and be nice to them. They'll feel satisfaction when you cry and cower in fear and say, "Please don't take my job from me." Then they're satisfied.
But you aren't a victim. You don't walk around as a victim. It takes a victim to go, "Oh, I'm a victim too. I understand." That's not where you come. Dude, you're confident. I'm sorry, you cannot hide your confidence. Ever. No matter what. Same with me. I can't hide that. I'm a confident person. Hold on, no. You're a confident person. You walk up to that person, you say, "Man, I feel you." They see that confidence. They don't see you as a victim, and they go, "You know what? That's a lie. I don't believe you at all."
That's the point. The point is
exactly what my point is. Yes, thank you.
That when these people are screaming, and then you finally come up to them and give them, what they're looking for.
Whoa! I didn't say necessarily you. I wasn't saying it like that.
You're talking about this behavior of trying to accommodate them or empathize does not result in what you're saying it results in.
Yeah, because it's the victims. It's the ones that group together. They're the ones that are like, "I feel you because I'm a victim for sure. I'm totally a victim. I'm vulnerable."
No, this is not what happens.
Huh?
The only way
What is it?
to actively function in the circle with these people not screaming is to say literally nothing or to cry.
You can't start this
Or run away.
conversation by saying, "I don't understand how this happens," and then finish it
Seems
by going,
like we can
"That's
never have
wrong.
enough of
That's
these."
not the way it is. I'm sorry." No.
But I'm right.
Okay.
I've been on the ground.
Agree to
I've
disagree.
I've covered this for over a decade.
Okay.
You're sitting here telling me.
I'm
Damn,
not telling you
Adam
anything. I'm
sounds
just telling you,
very
I'm telling you
heated
what
right now.
what my view of what this is. You said, "I don't understand this." I said, "This is what I think it is."
Right.
Okay.
So when
Period.
So are they
right now
intelligent?
you're being the anti-vaxxer.
Okay.
I've got experience on the ground. I was embedded with these groups for years.
I'll
and
bet
I'll
most
tell you
people would
exactly
have
what
just
happens,
gone
why
in
it
there,
happens, what they've
guns
said to me,
blazing
explaining
without
these
half a
things,
thought.
and everything
What I
else.
wanted
Not
to do.
you.
And
You're the
confidence
best
is
research
undeniable.
Here's
assistant
the most
ever.
I'm not even talking about
unbelievable question
myself.
I've
I'm
heard.
talking about
A
in general when
feminist
you're at a
says
protest
this.
and you see a
What
woman
does it
walk up
feel
to the
like to
woman
get
screaming,
kicked in
and
the
she's like,
balls?
"Are you okay?" And the woman goes,
Effing
"Get the heck away from me,"
microtransaction.
and screams in her face.
Okay.
When you see two women who are fighting each other in a
Thank
park,
you.
when
Effing
Antifa fights themselves,
microtransaction.
they're
Thanks for
trying to cancel each other.
following.
The only thing that
I don't
works
know if
now
you're
is
here for the
people
discussion
insane
or the
who do
Fallout
nothing.
3, but
When they start screaming
got
and
it.
ranting and they're full of rage,
Um,
people just stand there and nod. And that's it. There's nothing you can say to them.
Okay.
They don't want a solution. They want to be angry.
well,
But
So-
this is in Occupy.
I'm
You
not
went
sure
to
why
college.
it's
So you went- we're
unbelievable.
talking about colleges,
A girl
right?
doesn't
After
know what
high
it's like to
school,
get kicked
they
in the
get
balls.
indoctrinated in the college
She can
situation,
imagine
right?
that
That's what we're
pain,
discussing.
but then
This is where
again,
I was at. This is what I'm talking
she
about.
or
So this
we
is what I think
men,
is going on.
we'll call it,
So you were saying
we
that
don't
you went to
understand what it's
colleges,
like
you've
to
seen it in
give
colleges
birth.
where all this is.
Yes.
is
But there's
happening.
no
Like when Nick Christakis
I mean,
was talking to the kids.
there's no comparison.
No, I'm talking about.
I don't
you
think that
personally.
Yes,
has
and
anything
I've
to
been
do with
Berkeley,
feminism.
And I've been to Syracuse and a bunch of other universities
Okay.
while this stuff was going down, and I've witnessed this
Oh,
firsthand. And
that's
experienced it when
unpleasant.
I tried doing some
But
other
I
things.
guess it's
Okay.
no
And there's a really
surprise.
good example.
Practically
Nick
everything out there
Christakis,
can
the
eat
professor,
us.
I think
who was
This bottom of the
accused
food chain
being a
thing
bigot
really
because
that
he said something about
question
Halloween
Some of these
costumes.
observations
And they
about their
surrounded him
armor
and
and
is
they
camouflage
outrageous to
give me an
ask
idea
Even
for
when he
because that
reinforced
person
neutral
doesn't
colors.
automatically assume
Here,
You don't
consider
that
it
it
thanks for
hurts
not
like
interfering
a
with them.
mofo.
Oh, speaking of which,
And that
take
was a very
these,
famous
so you
viral
can continue
moment.
to
And
avoid
there
them
are
in the
many more
future.
with professors like him, where you
Three
cannot
Stealth
say
Boys,
anything to these people
a
at all.
shady hat.
And they tell you that. Or the guy at
All
Evergreen,
of the research
when he's
for the
talking,
second
he's waving his
chapter.
hands, and they tell you to stop waving your hands, it's racist, and then he does. And they all laugh at him.
But these are the people
Absolutely.
that are already
I'm
in
glad to
the
finish it
circle.
up.
They're already
But I bet
indoctrinated.
you're
They're the
even
ones that are
happier,
already
right?
speaking out, that are already
Just
angry.
one last
They're
chapter
the ones
now.
that are already in these groups. That's who you're referring to right now.
2032
Is a
caliber
group of kids.
bullets.
But
I'll
how
take
does
it.
it happen? How do they
Don't-
catch the new people? By the people that are just standing on the side, just shaking their head yes, and then they suddenly snap and turn into it?
Well, that's the question I'm asking. What makes them so angry?
And that's
Absolutely.
what I was referring to.
What were you saying that makes them angry?
Well, no. I was saying what brings them into it. Yeah, what makes them angry is.
I mean, I can
they're-
totally
everything pisses
understand.
them off. Everything.
I'll say I can totally understand why they think it's like giving birth, because when you give birth, you're basically ripping your genitals in half, and getting kicked in the
went
balls
into
are the
college
male's genitals. I
looking one
mean,
way, and and exited.
I can
college,
understand. It's
from these,
probably the
like,
same,
crazy
a
guys.
very
I don't know anything about her.
tangible
who am I to say anything about her?
pain
Because that's the only thing I know
to,
about her is that she looks
like the most
completely
painful thing
different
for a
from
woman,
others.
probably
And
giving
that
birth.
she's now
What's the
an
most
activist
painful
as
thing
you
for
are.
a guy?
It's a meme.
Getting
You know, they say
hit in the
college
balls,
studies,
I see the meme,
like
yeah.
and they show
without a
people
doubt.
before college
I
and
mean,
after college.
that we know
What
of.
happens to
You know,
their
getting
normal
stabbed,
people,
getting
and I know people
shot.
do
I'm
this,
pretty sure is
all of a
worse
sudden can't
to a
stop
certain
and have a
point.
conversation 'cause they're dialed to 11
To a certain
nonstop.
extent, I should
No
say.
matter what they do, no matter what you say, everything's at 11.
But if you're trying to say that that
the
girl
mind versus the writer
did
mind?
not
I
think
just watched
that
this earlier.
getting hit in your
Really good,
genitals
little back and forth
hurts,
interview with,
then
Corellia.
she's a crazy person.
And it was great. And basically, what
Easy.
it means is
I
the
mean,
elephant mind
not-
is your
no-
emotional side,
no
and
question
the
about
writer
it.
mind is
The
basically
getting
being
punched by a
controlled the
professional
elephant
boxer
until you
thing,
finally rein it in
I don't
and
think it's
gain
quite
control
the
of your
same,
rational side, the
like,
more logical
pain.
side of the human brain.
I
And
think it
seems to
probably
be
is
that these
worse than
people
getting
are-
punched.
It's basically like the reins of the elephant per se has been they've lost they broke. They have the reins
Yeah,
in their
well,
hands, like holding it
I
really
mean,
tight, but they
also,
broke, and the elephant is
I
just
forgot
running
how old
rampant.
you are, but
There's
if
no
that girl
stopping
is
it.
as
It's
old
like
as
a
you and calls
stampede.
herself a
That's what I
feminist,
see that's
then
happening. That
I think
anger
she has a lot
is
of
run
learning
unchecked
to do,
for so
because
long,
just
backing
being a
off
girl
or
and
bouncing
talking
off,
about
rather, other
pain
people that are equally
isn't
angry,
what
making it more
feminism
anger,
is
and that
about.
anger just is getting perpetuated into this like
And that's why I told
hot
you.
mess. And that's
It's
what we're
like the
seeing.
small
it's like
majority of
it's so
crazy
easy to
people,
want
or I would say
be
misunderstood and
to blame
loud
others for your problems.
feminists are the
People
ones
wanna
that
do that,
ruin it for the
especially when we're
actual
growing up without
feminists.
Parents, you know, we want to
There
be a
are
part of
good
something.
people
so you get
out
to college,
there
you're finally out
that
of
get-
home, which
that get
might not
covered
have
up
even been a
by
good
the
situation. Boom, they
get
they
covered up
hit,
rather bad.
You know, this crowd of people that
simple.
you're pissed
I mean
off,
that
you're angry,
not
like, I
simple,
have to
but
go
it's
do work, I have to,
that's
like, get up
pretty
and
much.
actually do stuff like
You know,
whatever. I
that's-
mean, not
that's a lot
everybody.
of
Some
it.
people just drink their whole college careers, but
I mean, don't
you
get
know,
me
others
wrong.
just
Also,
get
I'm
angry,
not
so-
I think it's specifically no parents.
I'm not a
It's-
feminist.
yeah,
so.
maybe it is. I mean, the
I don't
statistics
know.
don't lie. It's absolutely. If you have no parents or a one-parent home, like I've looked into this now, and you're absolutely right.
I mean, like weak parents.
True.
And
Yeah.
so
People,
it's
parents that aren't even there. I mean, what's the difference? You know,
Yeah.
if you're not raising your kids, if you hand them an iPad, that's not raising your kids. That's them learning and doing the algorithm till they get dancing Hitler, right?
Yeah.
It's like crazy.
It's like somebody flicked a switch in their brains that can't be turned off,
Yep. I
and
agree.
they're just wads of anger and rage.
Mhm.
You ever seen the video? It's called "This Video Will Make You Angry" by CGP Grey.
No, I haven't seen it.
He basically talks about how internet communities breed hatred,
Okay.
and it become like you know what's funny is because he basically predicted all this was going to happen, and the culture war, for instance, and he talks about how groups don't actually argue
How
with
do I
against
make
each other.
my money back?
They argue amongst themselves about the other group,
Okay.
and they keep exaggerating the claims until they
Leaf
become so
blower,
enraged that they're
cigarettes,
just wads of anger.
highlight.
And that, they talk about how video, and he talks about video and social media stuff, how it plays into this.
Mhm.
So, memes, for instance, circulate among groups about the other
Okay.
group, and they never actually interact. So, I don't know, it's an interesting idea. But the reason I was bringing this up is because I remember that video of the white woman yelling at the black cop.
Yeah.
Let's be real, man. You're my only viewer.
You know, he's a black cop, right?
Or it was a woman.
I don't
right,
care.
and
I'm
she-
here for the
that-
just
that's like,
talking. Like, I'm
nobody
here to
thinks it's
talk.
okay.
I'm fine with
No one's
talking about it.
biased.
Oh man.
I'm not afraid to talk about
Like,
difficult
How
topics.
well,
Come on,
you
man.
can always tell too, because they
I've
don't
been
start
through
with
so
a
much bullshit
tone
in my
voice
life.
like
You have
this.
no
It
idea.
always
Like,
is up here.
I've
It's
been,
11.
Always.
I've dealt
They're
with
on
this,
max
like
screeching,
crap,
like,
firsthand.
You know, you can see the
Like
heart
this
is
topic.
pumping, the adrenaline is flowing. They
It's
want
not.
it. They,
These
you
conversations
turned
need
on
to
me,
be
I can
had.
I'm gonna open
That's why
the
I'm
floodgates
listening
of
to this
anger in you.
podcast in the back,
And it's like
because
everyone sees that who's a
they talk
rational
about
human
these
being.
guys talk about
Whoa. You need
important.
to calm down.
We need to figure out how
You
to
need to have conversation.
They talk about
I mean, I
important
think there are
things,
there are
and they talk
ways
about it
trying
in a
to
way
diffuse
that
border
isn't like
challenges and
mainstream
bring back
media
freedom of
bullshit
conversation, but you
and
see
things
this
like
nature of
that.
the far left,
Mhm.
Yada
is that
yada.
They actively try to stop any attempt by a person to break someone from the cult.
Yep.
You're in the cult, they act as like defense mechanisms, screeching with rage to shut down any conversation. And they literally do this. Like an example would be, if you walk up to one of these people and you
Damn,
actually
she
start
doesn't
having
have
a
any
conversation,
ammo anymore.
they would run up to you and get in the way and start telling you to shut up. and
Okay,
start
what am I
chanting.
selling?
You can see it, right? There was a video with Jack the Conservative, talking to a black man in D.C.
Okay.
And they immediately rush up and try and stop him from doing it. And I think it was Jack. Was it Jack?
That was Jack.
Yeah, he's
That
like,
picture?
he's like, I'm trying to have a conversation with my friends here, and they're just like screaming at him, shut up, because they don't want people to actually hear.
Yeah.
They don't want people to come together. They want to maintain that anger and rage within you.
Well, I certainly see that right now. It's like it feels like the left/Democrats that they're trying to slam home this division.
How come you're not able to?
Everyone, and it's like I won't.
You
have
mean
it.
like on your
I
console?
got these people that are
Or on your
and, you know,
on
it's
your
great. I'm
computer
seeing
because you don't
people
have
stand up.
one.
They're starting to look out.
That
for
wasn't
each other.
that was not a
It's like,
shot at
no,
you, by the
you're not
way.
gonna talk to this person like that. Like you're the one who's wrong. You know, it's like even on my Facebook, this infamous Facebook tweet, or whatever it is, this
Facebook
post. Yeah, and it's like there's people that I've known
Good
my whole
hunting.
life that are now writing on this, calling this guy out, for being wrong.
Shit.
And explaining calmly, and I'm like, these are the rational people.
Well, luckily
was an
PS3
emotional
is
person.
old as
He was not
balls.
thinking coherently. He was screeching at me. He
Aren't
would
they
turn it up to 11.
relatively
there are
cheap?
people on the
Can't
right
you
who are
find
playing
one
it.
going
But,
like?
I go
but I
on,
have
what's the ratio
PS4.
Of people on
That's
the
still in
left
good
versus the
condition.
right.
more than the right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, why are you playing on PS3? Why are you
Otherwise,
not playing
I
on like
wouldn't be saying
PS4 or
things I
something?
do, for the
Right.
most part.
Is it not backward
But it really does
compatible?
bum me out. Like I parlayed about this. Is that the right terminology?
They-
I'm parlayed. I parlayed. The Krasensteins are there, and they're
I don't know
like
anything about them.
they're just like
who are these guys? I keep hearing their name. I don't know
super
them at all.
anti-Trump,
Okay.
really annoying. They're they were ubiquitous.
Oh, they're
ubiquitous on-
anti-Trump.
Oh, super anti-Trump.
Oh, well, why did they get booted off Twitter?
Because they were accused of running multiple accounts,
Oh, okay.
and they were everywhere, replying to everybody.
There isn't Fall 3 on
so they
PS4.
joined Parler.
What?
And I'm like, excellent.
That's
Bring
crazy.
on more anti-Trump people, because what we end up with is a Twitter and a Parler that have their various biases in terms of banning speech. You'll have two different spaces where different conversations happen.
True.
Better than just Twitter, right?
Agreed.
But I look at the comments on this guy's post, and there's a bunch of conservative people cussing him out and telling him to F off and just really nasty things.
So
I'm
wait,
like,
it's not backwards compatible?
why would you do that?
Man, that's why you
No,
need to get an
but I
Xbox.
will
All
say,
that stuff is backwards
you look at-
compatible.
This is a common trope among the far left. It's called a right-wing love bomb.
Doesn't sound like right in my head.
They understand, and they hate it, and they refuse to understand why it works. They'll say, like, a regular person will get all of this love. Right?
Crashed
Smart.
again. What
That's
the
really great. Thanks for
fuck?
having a conversation, and it convinces them to become right-wing. And I'm like, yeah, well, duh.
There's
Right.
only.
What do you think? If I walk into here's how I explain it. I'm in the middle of the street.
There's only
I look to my right, there's a bar with a
FOMD
bunch of MAGA people with Trump hats waving
money, like
flags, and
100.
they're hooting and hollering.
Oh, that kind
To
of
my
that
left, a bunch of
sucks.
Antifa people wearing, masks with crowbars. And then I walk over to the left-wing side, and they go, "Who the F are you, bigot?
That's no
what
fun.
are you talking about? No, I'm in charge." Everyone's screaming. I'm gonna be like, "Jeez." Then I walk across the street, and they're like, "Yo, buddy, come have a beer over with us."
Yeah.
And then I'll go, "Well, I mean, I'm not really a Trump fan. Hey, no problem, man. Come on in. I'll get you a beer. We'll have a conversation."
And that's
I'm like,
hypothetical, right?
I mean, technically, it's actually.
Well,
look.
let me
Oh,
tell you.
here's the
I am
answer to
right
your
there,
question
right
while I have the game
I'm
closed down.
standing on that
All of
street.
my games
I've
right here.
seen these people on the left that
Star Wars
known
Knights
for
of
a
the
long
Old Republic
time,
1,
screeching at me, screaming
KOTOR
at me.
2,
that Mark's post.
Same
that I
game,
did
Star
on
Wars Knights of the Old
Twitter
Republic
the
2,
other day, or like last
Star
week.
Wars Republic
It's
Commando,
insane the
Tomb
amount of
Raider,
people that are freaking out
PUBG,
about it on
The
both
Witcher
sides,
3,
screeching
The
at
Outer
each other.
Worlds,
But man,
Firewatch,
all the rational
Fallout New
people that
Vegas,
are coming up
Life
to
is
me going,
Strange,
Yo, props for
Fallout
opening
4,
your eyes.
Mass
Like,
Effect
if
1,
just that
2,
alone, right
and
there,
3,
You're it doesn't matter what I believe in.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
It's
Duel
like a
Links.
simple, hey, good
I
for you.
forgot that I
That's-
fucking had
that's
that
really
game,
what I'm
dude.
hearing. Good for you. Like, good on you. For
Modern
furthering
Warfare,
yourself, opening your eyes. It's not like
Call
I'm
of
glad
Duty or
you're even
whatever.
here, which I
A
have
pretty
gotten.
freaking
Like,
awesome
the
game right
majority is
here.
just like, good job.
Hellblade:
Like, I'm proud of
Senua's
you.
Sacrifice.
Good for
That
you.
was a legit game.
To a, like,
World of
Trump
Warships,
group
A
or
Plague
forum
Tale.
or post on Facebook or something where you say something.
Haven't
like,
played that one, but I
"I'm
heard
not
it's
a big
awesome.
fan of Trump,"
Fallout
and
3,
no,
Game of
I
the Year
think we
edition,
need to get 'em on the lines,
Bioshock
right?
1,
And
2,
the response you
and
typically get, not
Infinite.
completely, but typically from conservatives is you'll get a
And that's
response
it.
where it's like, "What's your problem with Trump? What has he done?
I think
Why do you
that's
hate him
all of
so much?"
them.
Yeah, the questioning.
But
And
yeah.
then when you say something like
And the
"He's
thing
racist,"
is, I
what
haven't
has he
played
ever done that's
any of
racist?
them.
Right.
Well, I
Yeah.
played some
I
of them,
love that.
obviously.
I know a lot
But
of stuff about him now.
like
Now-
the
now go-
campaign
now go
games,
to
I
the
haven't played
anti-Trump
many
comment
of.
post. I like Trump. I think I'm gonna vote for him.
Oh, yeah,
And you know what's gonna happen. They're gonna they'll ban you in 2 seconds.
that's true.
So listen, I'll I'll make sure it's clear. It's like a 2-to-1 ratio. It exists on the right.
Yeah.
If you go to say the Donald dot win. and you
So
post
are they
something negative
intelligent?
about Trump,
Do they
they're
have a
gonna delete
leader?
it. They're gonna ban
Some
did
sort
go
of
to
king
Donald
or
Donald
priest
and I
or
joined.
some sort of
did
scaly
you?
community
Yeah, I
center?
was like, I'm gonna see what this is all about.
So it is an echo chamber of Trump love.
Yeah.
But again, the reason I mention is because there's also
That's not
r
bad
slash
at all.
politics on Reddit.
Mhm.
It's supposed to be a neutral political
$10
forum,
is like
which
nothing.
basically
But it's not.
anti-Trump.
I mean,
So you
It's the Donald Duck.
it's nothing if you have a job.
if you go,
But
seriously,
I understand
you
not
go
having
to
any
r
money.
slash
I just
politics
went
Yeah.
and
3
post
months
a
with
pro
like
Donald
0
Trump
money
story,
because of COVID.
Wow.
if you go to r/news,
Sounds like Facebook.
I'll bet most people would have just gone in there,
if you go to the
guns
so this is why
blazing
it
without
really-
half a
it really is
thought.
bummer there's
But
no
not
platform for these
you.
candidates.
You're
Yeah.
the best
You can't
research
post anti-Trump
assistant
stuff
ever.
on Donald Duck. For obvious reasons, it's dedicated to Trump supporters.
The Donald Duck.
Right.
Oh,
R/politics
that's
should be
unpleasant.
neutral. You should be able
but
to
I
talk
guess
good
it's
and
no
bad about it.
surprise.
True, yeah.
And then
Is,
Practically
Biden
everything out
should
there
be
can eat us.
pro-Biden and anti-Trump.
This bottom of the
Is
food
it
chain
a
thing
first
really
person
sucks.
shooter?
Some of these observations about their armor and camouflage gave me an idea for reinforced, neutral colored headgear.
I just tell you
Here,
straight up.
can
I have been in tons of far left events and hangouts, and they do not tolerate.
the
dissent,
last chapter is a
and
bit more
I can
esoteric. It's about
I go to an event with a bunch of Trump supporters, and I calmly laid out my discussion about institutional racism,
Okay.
and they all were like, I never thought about it that way. I disagree.
oh, that sure
And then we
saved
had
me a lot of
Third
time.
person.
like shrimp dip
But
or
I bet
something.
their book wouldn't have
Like
anything about
Battlefront.
exploding mole rats,
Well,
would it?
Star
Well,
Wars.
here's
Books
how
Yeah,
are really
Battlefront,
old
not
world kept
Battlefield.
its knowledge.
And they were like,
And libraries,
I don't agree with
see
that,
if it's
though."
still
And that was it.
Yeah.
I disagree.
great.
And I was like,
If you
okay.
can't
Oh, classic.
Who's getting the beer?
Classic conversations.
Well, it's because when you look,
Civil conversations.
this goes back to what I was talking about with the far left and the serious nature of their tactics. This is why I'm not entirely confident on Trump winning. They cheat. They don't just cheat in terms of like we're gonna rig the election. They cheat in terms of discourse.
Yep.
Trump-
Deleting anyone that's
Right.
that speaks out. My video
You're
of me just simply going, I don't like the Democrats anymore. I'm gonna vote for Trump.
banned.
Boom,
Gone.
got banned.
2.4 million views, and they went, better delete that.
Yep.
Donald-
That's
Donald-
spreading way too fast.
Donald Trump comes out and he goes, "My fellow Americans, we will build a tremendous garden of heroes. Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, heroes of the Civil War. Everybody agrees it'll be tremendous." And then what happens? Donald Trump says he's going to build statues of Confederates. He thinks the Confederates are heroes. It's like
It's crazy.
they're lying. They're making it up.
Blatant lying. I know. It's insane.
They will cheat. they are
I
cheating now.
100% agree.
They're-
I think they're cheating now. You're right.
So
Scary.
Look, man, you look at Russiagate, and it was. What did we learn about Russiagate? For those that don't know,
It was nothing.
there were several high-profile people who were going on CNN and MSNBC saying, "I have seen the evidence. It exists. Trump did this."
Right.
And then what were they saying when they testified privately? "I have not seen any evidence. I have no idea."
Right.
And then it wasn't until this year the evidence actually came out. They made it all up. They were cheating
Oh,
the
not
whole
only
time.
they. I'm sorry. It's not just they. Biden did this.
Right.
With Obama.
And let me tell
Like,
you
they
something. There is
both
a
sat together
free
and
vehicle pack
they
that will
plotted
help
this
you
out.
out big time.
We
It's
don't
called
know
the
to what
starter
extent,
pack.
but we know they were involved.
I'ma
And
get
an
it.
We
important
know they were
conversation.
involved. That's all I need to know.
That Joe Biden
That's
lied.
proof. There's
That
proof.
Joe
Oh,
Biden
Wait.
was caught in several lies.
Is
with
there-
Exactly.
Why were they going
You
after
say
Michael
there
Flynn?
was or
And now
wasn't
Michael Flynn has
crossplay?
basically been exonerated. Well, I don't want to say exonerated because the political disparity in
Yeah.
perspective, but the charges are gone.
See, these are the kind of things that make me think. That
Is there
there's no way Trump's
crossplay
part
on
of the deep state,
consoles?
because they wanted the deep state. Was
Because
trying
if that's
to
true,
stop
I'll
him
get it
from
on my
becoming president.
Xbox and then we'll
conspiracy is that
play
Trump
Sure.
pumped the
on
show
Yeah.
to make it
PS4
fake.
or
Of course.
whatever.
But I don't believe the conspiracy either.
I don't know.
They destroyed Michael Flynn's life.
They did.
And they even admitted, this was in part of the notes, that in the conversation with, I think you might want to fact check me on this one. I'm pretty sure though. In the conversation they had with Obama and Biden, someone said,
Good
FBI notes
hunting.
showed, Michael Flynn's conversation with Kislyak was on the level.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, go after him anyway.
Yep.
So, Obama's there, Biden is there.
Yep.
Biden did an unmasking request. It's a really, really complicated story. And this is what's really hard for the American people is to understand
The complex.
what happened with this.
Yeah. The web of
Long story
what
short,
it all is.
Michael Flynn was a national security advisor. Had a conversation with the Russian ambassador, I believe, asking not to escalate sanction wars, saying, please let us come in and do our thing before there's escalation. That was it.
Yeah.
conversation was on the level. Most people agreed. In an
Well,
informal meeting at the White
yeah,
House with
what
no
is it?
legal counsel present, Michael Flynn said he didn't.
I'm gonna
talk
say
to
if it
the
happens
scandal.
soon, then I'll just wait and I'll get it
He's
on
lying to an FBI agent. And then they claimed that was grounds.
Well,
They
all
went to
right.
him and said,
Let me count out your
and
cash.
I'll get
"Do
it
not
on
plead guilty.
console,
We'll
and
investigate
then
your son." And so
we'll be
Michael
able
Flynn
to
said, "I'll
kick
do
some
it."
ass.
Yep.
Yeah,
It sounds really
they
interesting,
think that
so
Joe
like I'm
Biden
totally down for it.
raised the idea of investigating.
All my buddies play.
Mentioned the Logan Act. It was Biden who
Me and my
mentioned
buddies, we all
Logan
play
Act.
PUBG,
Long story
World of
short, Michael
Warships,
Flynn did nothing wrong.
and
Literally
Call of
nothing wrong. It was
Duty.
in his official duties, his job, it was
And
an
then everybody
international
else has like
organization.
those random games that they
And
play
they
that
found an obscure
Ark.
way to force him
they'll play that
to fight his
alone.
family, to plead guilty so that they could keep pushing this fake theory of Russian collusion. They cheated.
They lied.
The whole thing was a scam.
Yep.
And I'm surprised Trump was able to win on that one. Because they were doing it for years investigating him. Now, to be fair, Trump made a whole bunch of banana peel moments. Slipping around and falling, trying
Well, we
to
talked to you.
firing
Doesn't have the
Comey
best tact,
but he still ended up winning on that one. And now they're going for the same strategy. Trump's going to cheat again. It's like, no, I think you're going to cheat.
Yes.
You never accepted the results of 2016. You hate Trump. You've been accusing him of scandal after scandal.
trying to impeach him since he got in office.
I think
No
if Trump gets
sniper
reelected,
rifle.
He's
we're
gonna
gonna
drop
see-
the hammer on them
we're
all.
going to see a perp walk. We are going to see tons of people. It's going to be
That'd be
historic.
amazing.
Lydia's
Lydia's face
listen,
shows that she
excited.
agrees.
that's why they won't let him win.
They
will,
can't let
by
him win.
any means necessary,
That's
prevent
right.
it.
And that's what I'm saying. They're firing on all cylinders. They are firing everything they've got. They're whipping the
Fire
emotions
everything!
of the American public around their fingers,
Might work.
and I see it, and
Oh,
it
no, I know
saddens
about that.
me a lot.
The
And
fact-
I'm speaking up. I'm being more vocal than I've ever been in my life.
The fact that they're going
it's
after
crazy,
Bill,
man.
the fact they're going after Bill Barr is the really interesting thing to me.
Yeah.
Bill Barr was one of the smartest moves Trump has ever made
Oh yeah.
because he was the attorney general in the 90s. He was attorney general, right?
Yeah.
In the 90s. under, I
Not
think, what,
that.
was it?
10 millimeter right there. Repair.
So basically, you pull a guy out of retirement.
I am
who's
not
got
coming across a lot of
clean track record serving the
10
country,
millimeter.
Bring him back and do the same thing.
This
And
ammo
now they're
is
trying to smear him again, but it's not so easy.
Right.
Because
very,
it's like, you mean to tell me he was corrupt in the 90s?
very hard to come by.
You know, it's like, he's working for Trump now, and he's defending.
All
Trump.
right.
It's like,
Where am I
yeah,
going
maybe.
next?
Or
I need
maybe-
you to tell me where I'm going next.
No, maybe there is a group of corrupt, crony politicians who have been hiring their buddies and infecting our government with their BS
Yep.
to enrich themselves.
And are
I
using a
mean,
lot of
look,
money to
try the
cancel
brass
the
lantern.
CPP with
Looking for
China,
that special
because they have a lot of
something?
money invested there.
Right,
It's
right, but imagine this. Could you imagine how crazy it would be if, like, say, I don't know, somebody working in
Yeah, no,
government
I
had
don't
a
care. Send me
foundation, maybe a
whatever.
Secretary of State,
Okay.
had a
Can you even
foundation
send
where they were
pictures
taking
via
donations from
Twitch?
foreign governments while they
I mean,
were
you
running the
can personal
administration?
message
Like,
me
that
on
could
like
never happen, right?
Facebook
Right.
or
Yeah.
email
Right.
or
I know that
YouTube
reference.
or
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
whatever you got. I'm
Like,
sure you
what?
can find
Yeah.
my
Right.
information.
So I'm not
It's the
here
internet,
to
it's out there.
anything. I don't like most of the people who run for office.
Crazy Wolfgang's got
Bill
just
Barr
what
said-
Yeah,
you need.
Instagram works.
Assuming you need the random
Yeah,
junk
simply
that
does.
I've got.
They didn't have
It's
any problems back then. Take a
Abelman
look at
dot
Kavanaugh.
adventures, I believe.
Kavanaugh was
I think it's still
Senate
on there.
and he became a federal judge.
It's not the
All of a
same as it
sudden,
used
they
to be.
surfaced 30-year-old allegations against him and run him over the coals, calling him evil.
Yeah.
Like this is a whole new level of insidious, strange, and weird.
This
It's
guy's
that
got
anger.
literally
It's
nothing.
that elephant riding around that they are trying to control everybody with it. It's sad.
What was the name of that guy who he was the banker plot? You know the banker plot?
Let me look it up.
Yeah, but what's the banker plot? This, my understanding, was a conspiracy in like the early 1900s. Was it Smedley Butler? Was that his name?
I've
Thank you, bud.
sure.
It's a film.
Yeah, it's a movie.
Something happened. Okay, maybe I'm thinking of a movie, but I'm pretty
A pleasure
sure
doing
something
business with
happened
you.
Where a bunch of
Let me see if I
super
can't
wealthy
hammer
individuals
this garbage
were
into
trying
shape.
to convince like a high-ranking military official to overthrow the government
Okay.
and give them control of everything. Were you not able to find it?
Well, it's very race oriented.
Race-oriented?
Yeah, is that what it's about?
No, the thing I'm thinking of is like bankers who are like, we want financial
Let me
control
see
of
if
the
it-
government. and
I'm not
they
sure
want
if you
this guy
sent it
to
yet. I'm gonna
overthrow
check.
something.
Okay.
Maybe people are gonna comment in the chat. Smash the like what it is. You couldn't find it. Maybe I don't know. Smedley Butler. Some people are saying.
Smedley Butler.
Did-
Oh, you
did
missed my
did you
my
look it up?
headbutt. Oh, I'll do it later.
Hold on, I'm distracted.
Oh.
Smedley Butler.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'm having fun with this smash button.
He was a Marine,
Pillow.
people are saying.
Yeah,
Love
he was
this.
a Marine.
Yeah,
Most
was-
decorated Marine in U.S. history. During his 34-year career as a Marine, he participated in military actions in the Philippines, China, and Central America and Caribbean.
Did they mention anything about conspiracies or anything?
I have not received it
Wonder
yet.
where I read that.
Sounds interesting.
The business.
See you out on the road, huh?
Political conspiracy by business leaders
Yeah,
to
there you go.
overthrow President Roosevelt.
Boom.
Okay, we figured it out. Wasn't the banker policy, business.
I read too much,
All runs
and
together.
I'm like, sometimes I'm like, was it in a movie? Did I make this up? My brain is fractured.
I'm gonna use that
No,
against you in the future.
No, I'm kidding. By the way, I was correct. That's the point.
Yeah.
No,
I actually knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
The
Doesn't matter.
business
You
plot.
said it.
Yeah,
What,
the
am I going
business
crazy?
plot. Maybe a little
The
bit.
business plot.
You're just
So
going crazy.
the reason I bring that up is, look, conspiracies happen. There. So for all that we know, the Obamagate stuff. Like, think about. I know a lot of people firmly believe it is true, but I firmly believe we need hard evidence before I make any assertions.
Whoa.
But entertain the
Sorry,
possibility
that thing
that
exploded.
Donald Trump, for all of his character defects, and boy howdy are there a lot, is just a guy
My
who wanted to be president
stats
of
are
the
still
country
right, right?
and
My
wanted
endurance
to
is
apply his
down.
knowledge to economics
Why?
and foreign
Why
trade.
is my
And
endurance
there
down?
is a group of people
My
who
big
have
guns are
infected our
down.
federal government at the highest
Perks,
levels, who hired their buddies,
general,
and are using
stats
their
why?
power to subvert the American people.
Because
The more,
I
the
not
more I look
that-
into Trump, the
Minor
more
rat
I see
poisoning.
that to be
That's what it
100%
is.
true,
Well,
man.
certainly-
He wants people to survive. He wants people to do
Rats,
well. He
rat away.
appreciates people who do that work hard.
Did I ever tell you the story about
Cool.
the dude I met who Trump gave him a
no
free
longer
iPod?
No.
radiation
So this dude I knew in
sickness.
Chicago said that when they built Trump Tower,
Okay.
he was going there for some reason, like a delivery or something. And as he was walking in,
Let me know if you need help
he
finding the
could find him.
Instagram.
So he didn't really pay attention, but he
Yeah.
walked up to the door and opened it, and then stepped aside to let them in. And then when he did, it was Trump and Trump's people.
Yeah.
And then they all walked past him, and then he was like, "Whoa, hey, it's Trump!" And then Trump's about 10 feet in front of him. He walks in, drops the door, and then Trump stops, turns around, and goes, "Hey kid, thanks," and throws an iPod.
Nice.
This was back when iPods were like a big
That's
deal.
so cool.
That's dope.
Yeah, it was like the new iPod.
Like
It
with
was,
Trump's music on it too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dope.
And he
With
was
cool.
like, "Whoa!" And there are
I got
stories.
the Trump pod.
Dude.
It's actually gold.
I went when Trump first got elected. I went to Trump Tower,
Uh-huh.
and he's got that restaurant and the ice cream shop. And I asked everybody what they thought about him. They love him.
Yeah.
They all loved him.
Yeah.
Some people would say like he would come down and just give him $100 bills. Just
That's
like come
dope.
down and give him money.
That's not surprising.
I think I asked somebody at the ice cream shop or the restaurant or whatever, and I was like, "What do you think?" And they're like, "He comes down sometimes. He's really nice to everybody." And I'm
cool.
like, "Do you think? Do you believe what they say about him?" And they were like, "No." But some people think Trump's playing it up for the media, like he's exaggerated his character and his
Okay.
politics to like generate controversy and buzz. But the people who worked at the tower, they were like, "He's great."
I have
Alright,
heard
we're just gonna
that
do
Trump-
some
I've heard
exploring.
he paid off a bunch of people's, like,
I haven't
bills,
found enough places. I need to
like,
get some
quietly,
levels
like,
up.
super under the table, but
This
he
is
does
hilarious.
it, and he never asks for anything for it.
That
Yep.
I firmly believe that based on all of the negative press, that if you were to remove all of the negative press, actually just go back in time to 2015, Trump was like considered to be one of the best people in the country.
Yep.
Like he was a good dude, he's a civil rights leader, he's all these really great things.
Yeah, he stood next to Rosa Parks and won an award with her. It's
But
like,
as soon as he ran as a Republican, they do what they do best.
Yep.
They call everybody who runs as a Republican racist,
That's true.
white nationalist, all that evil stuff.
To call him a racist means you know nothing about him. That's it. From what I've learned about him, it's amazing. The amount of stuff that he's done for minorities in this country blows me away.
Well,
I am. It's the more I research into him, the more I really like him a lot.
But
That's just a simple truth.
I actually heard one of the best explanations from this guy. I forgot his name.
Mhm.
It was in New York when they were doing that Shia LaBeouf thing with that flag. I can't remember what that flag was called.
Oh, he
But-
will not divide us.
Yeah, he will not divide us.
Yeah.
And there was a guy there, anti-Trump,
Mhm.
and I was talking to him, and I asked him what he thought about Trump, and he was like, he's got problems. I don't think he's the worst guy in the world, but I think, we definitely need somebody else, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And he was a black dude, by the way. So I asked him, I was like, Lou, do you think Trump is racist? And he goes, "Oh, yeah, but he's the least racist president we've ever had." And I was like, wait, hold on. Wait, you think he's racist, but he's the least racist? You think Obama was more racist? And he was like, "Yeah."
Oh, wow.
And he basically told me that he was like, "Listen, man, you got to understand, we had presidents who were slave owners. Pretty sure that means
All right,
they were
let me see.
racist, right?" And I'm like, "That's a good point." And he goes, "Trump, he has his prejudices, man. Of course, I think
Nice.
he's racist. Compared to all the
Yeah,
rest
it came
of them,
through.
he's the least racist we've ever had."
One
And I'm like,
sec.
that's a really interesting way of putting it. And I think from a certain perspective, it's fair to say
I'm not gonna
everybody has
say your
certain
name.
preferences.
Well, I'm gonna say
Well,
your
you know, you're-
Instagram name
Are attracted to
because you should probably
people
go
that
follow
look
him.
m-
All
closer to
one
your
person
own.
that's following
Even
that's
like
or that's
improving,
watching.
you
physical
know?
Doom
attractiveness,
Marauder.
people-
That's kind of what I'm saying. And
That's why I
we
was-
we forget that we're
Did
animals.
you just
We
make
are
an
animals.
Instagram,
Like,
dude?
We're mammals. You know, and it's like even today, you know, for example, I was talking to a friend of mine, a close friend of mine.
You made this
and I was
Instagram
like,
just to
he
send
happens
the
to be an
picture.
African-American, and he was telling me, I was like, tell me, like, talk to me about like what you went through, and grew up without being around white people.
Oh
in general,
boy,
and
that's
changed
attractive.
schools. I finally saw his first white person, and was afraid of them.
Damn,
Just a 6-year-old.
Lord.
You know, first interaction, felt fear because it was something different.
You were better off
It's
not having
uniqueness
social media, man. You'll be so much
something
happier
that
without it.
No, you don't understand. You know, and
That
it's,
is the-
it's
the-
learned though that it's a bad person. That, you know, that in itself, it's different. You know, we have to.
That's why I think proximity is the cure for a lot of
Your
biases
dad
and
told you to
Right.
get
That's
it?
why the segregation
That's
is terrifying.
surprising.
Exactly, I agree. Like Don Lemon was talking to Terry Crews, right? And they were talking about how like, you know, he was trying to drive home that it isn't like, or Terry Crews was saying, you know, it's not white on black, it's not black on white. It's like everyone is in their own clusters, and that's where the crime happens. They tell them, it's like, sure, but when we diversify, when we come together, you know, and find out we're all pretty much the same. We all want to love, we all want to eat and be comfortable and live life happily.
You know, man, the fact that there, I said this the other day, and I'll say it again, the fact that there's a
I mean, it's important to have, kinda, sorta. It's a good way to, you know, you gotta share pictures, or have pictures and memories and whatnot.
I mean, and when they're black
Oh,
people
God.
killing each other, you know, all like nonstop.
I'm getting wrecked.
Look at New York, it's happening in Chicago, Atlanta, like all these places. It's happening. Yeah, there's people. There's a very small group. That
This person with the
speaking up for them.
grenades is killing it, dude.
Lost.
Well, it's because the
Quite literally.
It's the mainstream politics doesn't weaponize it.
Yep, exactly.
So the cause of this crime has a lot to do with poverty and culture, like gang culture, for instance.
Yeah.
Gang culture isn't the biggest issue. The biggest factor in Chicago. It's actually just I don't know. It's not gang culture. It's some kind of like just they don't have respect for life. And also it has nothing to do with race. As exemplified by
that's
the people in my
society.
neighborhood.
They're trying to bring
Crap.
society down, but society has given you this comfortable life.
Well, these far left activists are.
Okay,
Like
right.
in Chicago, there's
yes.
very little thought to like if you mess with my neighborhood, we go. So, in my neighborhood, it was this culture was bred by all the racism. You have the South of Chicago where there's a lot of poverty, and there is a culture of violence,
Woo!
and anger. and
All right, got
dying
'em.
and all that. Like I told you that
We're good.
like last week or 2 weeks ago, that there was a fight outside of the high school in my neighborhood, and it was like it was a glorious, diverse group of people hating each other.
Yeah.
It's great, right? And one guy drew a gun. They were boxing. One guy lost. He reached under a car where he hid a weapon. He pulled out a gun. Or no, he pulled out a 2x4. And then the other guy was like, "Oh, you want to bring a weapon, huh?" And then he walked over to his friend and grabbed a gun. And then everyone started screaming and running. And it
So,
was like that mentality of like violence
when you open the
and taking
app,
things up to the extreme level of we
no,
were
I
hating
think
each
you
other,
sent
and now I'm
it.
just
One
gonna shoot
sec.
you.
Let me open it up.
That's just part of like some weird culture that exists.
To quote one of my favorite movies, "Evil begets evil."
I'm
So-
trying
I
to
think
use
it's
the
in the
picture
Bible.
What do
thing,
you get with
but
like caring
I-
Fifth
culture?
Element.
With
So,
high level
when you're
upper
looking
middle
at the
class
like
person.
message thing that
I
you
will
sent
sue
me,
you. No, I will sue you.
there's
No, I
like
will
on the
sue
right
you.
side,
That's
there's
the
the
extent to which
the
it's
smiley face, and then that little picture symbol,
But it's
and
a
then
cultural phenomenon.
there's like a
And it's not-
microphone.
it's
Pick
completely
the middle
non-visual, as
one,
evidenced by the fact
and
that
that'll
you
let you
have
pick a
wealthy,
picture from your
conservative,
gallery or
black
whatever.
people arguing with
Your
you know,
your
like,
your pictures on your
middle-class
phone,
white
whatever you're
progressives, but
using,
who's the real white supremacist.
Right,
They, like,
exactly.
completely
and that's
disprove
how
the
you
narrative
can
of the left,
that's how you
that
can
they're
send
all,
them.
like, if they ever stopped
And you
actually
should
just,
be
like,
able to
stepped
send
back
it.
and watched
I don't
the
think
video
it'll
and
block
looked
it.
at
I
it,
just
maybe
told
no
I
one
just
would realize race wasn't a factor.
said it
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
set it to
if they
accept or
actually
whatever.
stopped for a
No dick
second
pics,
and
please.
just took
Please,
a look
God,
at what
no.
they're doing,
Hell yeah,
and
right.
maybe read a history book, you know.
Yeah, good luck.
Okay, I
with
think I
that.
just got it.
Well, how about we read
Spin the
I
UFO.
was gonna say read a super chats.
Oh.
A
I'm
super
gonna
chats?
I'm gonna spin the UFO.
And how about you guys
Do it. Do it, Tim.
Crap, I'm getting attacked.
You see this?
Tim. Smash it, Tim.
I need you guys to do this.
Oh, man. Look at
Oh, that looks cool.
There you go. Boop it.
Yeah, just boop it.
Bop it.
I'm so disappointed
Bop
right
that
now.
right.
like button.
That's right.
Nah, it ain't blurry.
All right, we
That's
got a super
legit.
chat here while
That
Adam's
looks cool.
spinning the UFO. LR Design Studios. Lori Sullivan Roy says, "Admit it, Tim. You're voting Trump. MAGA baby. Keep up the great work, guys." Kanye 2020.
That's right.
Dude. Kanye, man.
Yeah.
We'll see what his platform's all about.
Yeah.
But
I gotta see what
I'm
it is.
pretty sure he's not running in 2020, right?
I don't think
We don't know yet. We don't know yet.
Trump-
that's
Trump-
not for sure.
Trump responded. He was like, "It'll be a good."
Are you
flower
doing that?
month."
Oh wait, you can't vote. Never mind.
That's,
I think he's truly gonna
Never
run in
mind.
2024.
So I'll say exactly what I said before. You know,
Vote Kanye.
I don't know. If the election was held today, I'd probably vote for Trump. But I'm not committed 100%. There's a lot that has to happen. And so it's really funny. There was a big thread on my Instagram where they're like, "Tim's lying. He would never actually vote for Trump." And I'm like, what? I don't get it. Like, why would I say that?
They don't listen to every video. They don't watch
argument
every
is that
video that
I'm
you.
only pretending to want to vote for Trump to get the clicks from Trump supporters.
Sure.
And I'm like,
Bang, bang,
I've
bang,
not-
gotcha.
No, that's okay. I got that.
You got that?
I got it.
What do you mean? You're gonna
No,
vote
I'm
for
just
Trump?
kidding. Yeah, I already said it.
Oh hell yeah,
Proudly
level
vote
up,
for
baby.
Why,
Trump.
why would I have to?
All right.
I am. I like the guy. I think he's doing good things.
My thing is like, I hear more about Joe Biden transforming the country. The way
Definitely.
here's how I explain it to people.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, in this conversation about the far left, I said, "Do you have any idea what minority people and like regular Americans who are not politically educated, who are minority or mixed, think when they wake up and see large sections of the white population organizing white identity-based groups and calling for white collective action? Like, do you think they sit there and think, let's discuss the nuances of their political opinions on why they should form a white racial group? Or do you think they're like, what's going on? I thought
But that
civil rights law
cab you saw
prevent
is
discrimination
only
from,
accessible
majority
by
versus minority.
No,
Battle
it's the
Pass
opposite, and
or
they're
shop.
actually
Okay.
repealing all those civil rights laws.
Exactly.
Well, you said it was
So
like
let me just break
$10.
it
I
down
mean,
for y'all. In
shit.
California,
I can do that.
where-
Not to worry.
like
About to be
the
matching,
majority, which is white,
Like,
has started
like
calling
bros,
for white collective
dude.
action and has advocated now through the Democratic Party to repeal their civil rights legislation,
strong
wait.
which they
back.
have done.
I got a
Size
physical representation
matters.
of how I feel about that.
It's creepy.
Yep.
It's creepy.
No smash.
They really did it. We'll see if it gets. We'll see if it actually gets passed. But
Yeah.
it's funny when I see people post on Twitter and they have a picture of it and they're like, "This can't be real, can it?" And I'm like, "Yes,
It's real.
they have repealed civil rights. They have voted to do it.
So it's happening.
It'll be on
No,
the
they
ba-
vote this
November.
November, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. California
No.
Democrats might actually strike out the language in their constitution that says the state cannot
Child
discriminate
at
based on
heart
race.
entomologist,
Truly,
Crazy.
truly amazing how far they've got.
scoundrel,
All right, let's see what we got here.
fortune
In the old
finder.
jets. Theodore Abate says, "What's your stance on multiculturalism? Personally, I don't think it works, and the evidence seems pretty
I need
self-evident at this
No,
point.
I need
Thanks for keeping
ammo,
it real."
not caps.
Depends your definition.
Well, they're
Well,
trying to shove it down our throats like
Scrounger,
we're doing.
5
It does
left,
work.
level
It
8.
It does.
Absolutely does work.
Yeah.
I lived in,
Considerably more
as I've
ammunition
said,
and containers than you
17
normally would.
at this point.
That's
Chicago has
definitely
Chinatown.
important.
I would go to Chinatown, and I would very much enjoy it, and we would love to go down there, and we all got along just fine.
Yep.
The issue is there one umbrella culture for which all the other subcultures exist? If American culture, so this is where the definitions come into play. A lot of people, when they say multiculturalism, they refer to American culture and then, like, say, Chinese culture side by side.
Okay.
Clearly doesn't work, because you can't have different sets of rules and laws based on your culture. Now, if people move from, say, China, and they create Chinatown, where they do a lot of things that are culturally Chinese, but it's all under the one parent umbrella of American, constitutional republicanism or liberal democracy, whatever definition you want to use, we're fine. Then you can go down and say, I may not understand why it is you prefer to eat these foods, but I can come and we can enjoy because we all abide by the same rules and the same laws. The problem arises when you have no parent overarching culture, and then you get side-by-side parallel cultures with different sets of rules and laws. You end up with
Oh,
morality police. and
That
we're
was
starting to see
aggressive.
that doesn't work.
That's true.
Dude said he's gonna
I
mount
wonder
me
if
on
like,
their wall.
these people believe that intersectionalism will be the global. Like, I would love to live in a Star Trek future.
Who doesn't?
But in the Star Trek future,
I'll take one coffee, please.
Do you know
Boop, boop, boop. Thank
you
you.
know what the famous quote is from what was Star Trek, the 60s? When
Started, yeah, maybe.
Abraham on the ship for some reason. I can't remember exactly why. And he uses a racial term, relatively derogatory racial term for the time, for Captain. I'm sorry, not Captain.
Uhura.
Uhura. She was the fourth lieutenant. And then he corrects himself and says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. Was that offensive?" And she goes, "Why would I be offended?" And then Kirk is like, I think it's Kirk. He says something like, "By this time in human civilization, we don't let words." Oh no, Uhura says this. We don't let words offend us.
Nice.
And everybody was like, when this started resurfacing this
Damn it.
they were like, if only they understood.
Wasting all my
how
bobby
wrong
pins.
they were.
Got
It's
him.
like, it's gotten so worse. But that's
Well,
Star Trek future.
In Star Trek lore, though, it got a lot worse before they created.
In San Francisco.
It's true.
So maybe we're on track.
No.
Maybe it'll be great. Let's see. Exile Devil says the worst WMD that humanity created is the internet and social media. It has destroyed countless lives. It's unregulated and in the hands of billions. Like many WMDs, it was supposed to help us destroy us. We're not ready for the responsibility. It is no joke. People say we have condensed 10 years of history in 6 months.
That's true. There's something I've been thinking about actually, because we've been discussing that we weren't ready for social media, and I think there's if you look at like the technological advance of the past 100 years, right, and how fast it's advancing the further we go, so it's almost exponential. It seems like it might be slowing down now, but because it's not so much of a physical one now, it's because the internet came along and we're seeing this new phase in humanity, essentially.
Reload.
And I feel like we're seeing the effects of it now. This is truly the effects of the internet. So people are seeing it. So it's almost like we are all going through this awakening right now. This moment that we're in, we're seeing the effects of it. We're
Gotta get a nice angle on
polarizing
the
and
booty.
focusing everybody to really analyze
There we go.
practically every aspect of humanity.
I think
I mean, at least
It's a hard-
personally.
the internet created a hard fork in American culture.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you had a flat internet, you had all these different communities.
You know what?
And
I'm
they started
going
bubbling
to
and
take
growing,
your hunting
And then at
rifle
some point, they fork off from it
and your hunting
in
rifle,
disagreement about what should or shouldn't
and
be.
I'm going
and that leads to the culture
to
war. And now you've got two. It's like
heal it.
yeah, it's a hard fork in the cultural programming of our country.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it can be remedied because it's a fork. They're just completely different lines of code at this point.
Yeah, so the Civil War that we keep talking
now-
about. that
We gotta get
everyone's
rid of one of
talking
the forks, man.
I can sell it.
We
We have to delete.
We
one
need
of
O'Hara's voice right now.
a Horus.
Uhura,
Uhura.
Star Trek, talking about how we don't
listen,
let words.
Uhura,
affect us.
not
I'm not offended by that
Uhura.
because I don't get offended by words.
these two forks can't.
Oh no,
coexist.
I have no
Absolutely, you're right.
freaking
So,
ammo
I'm
left,
not talking about
dude.
ammo, I'm talking about cultural ideology. One of them has to be stamped out. They're tearing down statues.
Hunting rifle,
They're
maybe?
lying about it.
Yep.
Trump is arguing. You know, in my opinion, the way I see it is, the left is the deviation. You have American history. You can follow everything back in time, all the way back to John Locke, liberalism, the ideas that led to the revolution, back through colonialism, back through every migration of all these different patterns, and then today, or 10 years ago, a fork split off that disagrees with all of that history and doesn't recognize it.
Yep.
So that's the deviation.
Dude, I'm going in that
Those
manhole.
of us that say we recognize the
I've
faults of this
never been in
country
that
and
manhole
respect it for
before.
what it is and how it became great and continues to strive are respecting the parent. It's like, trusting in America and believing in this country and respecting our history is the real code. Then you have the far left, which is a deviant forking off the code to create something else that would literally destroy everything from before the year 2000 or something like that. Year zero, as it were.
That's insane.
But I think what's causing this rapid development of history in such a short time is the speed at which we communicate.
Yep.
So, man, it's crazy. The revolution took place over 18 years. I think it was 18 years. It wasn't just the war. It was the process by which the conversation started,
Okay.
the Continental Congress, the
That looks
drafting
good.
of the Declaration of Independence. And it was like the they drafted this declaration, and then they're done, and then what? Like years go by before any real conflict starts. The declaration had to make it.
It's
to
so
England and then make
clean.
it back. That probably took a year.
Right. So my thought on that is,
Well,
you think it took a long time for it to
Dude,
happen.
you want to
and
hear
then it took
something
a
real
long time
cool?
to integrate into the system, right? So now
Not
we're at
if you
this
said
stage
yes.
where it's like that instead. So it's gonna happen like that, and it's gonna end like that. Do you know what I mean?
Will it end like that?
I think so. I think
Also, type a
I don't
message if you
maybe, but
agree, or if you want to
The
hear
reason
something
it
cool.
starts with a bang is because instead of like taking the Declaration of Independence, giving it to somebody, being like, get this on the first ship to England, and then in 3 months, the king will review it, and then 3 months after that, we'll have a bunch of regulars, or probably more than 3 months after that. 7 months because they got to get the troops, then put them on the boats, and then send them out here. So you're looking at almost a year after you sign it and send it out. Whereas today, you'd be like,
Look at that,
oh, let me send- let me tweet,
87
yo, we are
FPS.
independent,
Wow.
do something.
But
Right.
And then
it was at
in
like
that
60 a
moment, he
second
goes,
ago.
Send out our soldiers.
It's so weird.
The war still happens,
Yeah, but
and it takes time.
it's still gonna end as fast as it begins.
I don't think it'll end as fast. I think it goes straight up and then
3
goes down
fission
really fast
batteries, a
because
stealth
there's
boy.
still the hot conflict.
So it's a double poetry snaps.
Okay.
Like the thing about the Revolution, the Civil War, and these other bits
That
of
was
history that
creepy.
took a long time was that people had to move around and communication took forever. With the start of the war, it's instant. Oh, you're doing this. I mean, actually, it's not. I'm willing to bet that whatever this period is, what the historians would argue it started with just before Occupy Wall Street.
Oh,
They would say, in August 2011, socialist activists got together and planned the Occupy Wall Street movement.
dude.
This was the
Can't just sneak upon a brother like that.
emergence of mainstream intersectionalism, where
How
they
the
actually had
frick?
governing bodies based on your privilege and stuff like that. And then it became more and more prevalent from colleges to
Why
media
there's so much good
companies,
stuff in here?
to the mainstream enterprise, and then by 2020 it was widespread violence. So if we look back in history, they'll say it took 20 years. They will.
That's a good point.
Yeah, maybe we're just exaggerating. All right, we got this super chat from Big Mac Tech.
Conductor.
He says, "Good evening, Baron Von
That's
Beanie,
so much
Barbarian
weight.
Jesus, and Lady Lydia Whiterun. Did you guys know a metal band actually did an album inspired by the anime Berserk? The album was called
1075.
Beast in Black. I highly recommend it. Cheers.
Conductors are 30.
All right, let's see. We are about to.
I
hit
got a
time.
large one here from Chronoflation.
Do it, yeah.
Says, man, listening to you two debate makes me excited to see Adam with Stefan Molyneux. If you guys can get him on, I'd love to see it. I'm trying to imagine what will happen when the champion of anti-racism meets the statistical race realistic philosopher. Okay.
That'd be interesting debate.
We are working.
Oh,
on,
is that me? Am I the champion?
No.
Oh, is that him?
He's
I don't know
a
anything
statistical
about
dude.
him, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's the
a
stats and philosophy.
philosopher,
He's
yeah.
the guy who just got banned from YouTube because you're not allowed to talk about it.
right. No, so they're calling me the champion of anti-racism.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Great.
All right.
Good idea.
I didn't know.
We are working on a big expansion.
Oh.
It is not particularly easy, but we are planning by probably September.
Shut down.
And then
Alright, well, since you're not responding, I'll just tell you the cool thing is that I live
Indoor skate park.
right
indoor
next
skate
to
park.
Bethesda.
And probably more channels and gaming and just weird.
Right next to ZeniMax Studios, the people who made this game.
Oh, I'm excited.
So if you haven't already, make sure you smash the like button. Adam's got a physical representation.
Yes.
Hold on, let me prepare.
Smash it up.
That's it,
Subscribe.
just one.
And you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TimCast. You can follow at Adam Krigler on Instagram and Twitter as well.
And Parlor.
And Parlor.
Oh,
Forget
yeah.
Parler. And you can also follow at Sour Patch Lids on Twitter. Is that Parlor too?
Yeah.
And Parlor.
I don't know if there's
That's
anything down here.
Lyds.
Yes.
All right, let's see what we got here with the super chats. Angry Bellsprout says Tim endorses
Angry Bellsprout.
I'm not gonna wait. What? I'm not reading that.
Oh.
Vincent Grasso says, Grunt here. As a new gun owner, I just want to toss a suggestion to look up and do dry fire drills in your home. It helps build the muscle memory in the absence of range time and the ammo shortages. And they actually sell those caps.
Oh yeah.
So you can dry fire without actually firing a weapon.
Yeah, we saw them in the
The gun
shop.
shop's got 'em. Yeah. So if you want to do training, and no matter what, anybody listening, I'm not gonna pretend to be an expert on guns, but a gun is always loaded. Period.
Rule number 1.
The Killer Stove says, I voted for Gary Johnson as a protest vote in 2016 to show I was willing to engage in the system, but was disenfranchised.
Yep.
In the far left's eyes, that was high treason. The far left's hate for moderates is insane. Trump 2020.
It is
I
insane.
hear you, man.
It's crazy. I think it's the craziest
freaking hand is
Straight to
sweating.
11.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're just like their hair. They're just screeching banshees.
I know.
There's no calming them down. Like, you want to just come here, give me a hug. No, they just like they like knife you in the back.
Yeah, I don't deal with that well.
Jeff Schlumbrecht says, "I'm an oath keeper 3%er. 3%er refers to it only took 3% of the population to rise up and defeat the British in the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
I am also ADV China's media person. If you would still like to do an interview with Matt, who's Matt?
I
Taibbi?
don't know what that is. ADV
I
China.
will.
Matt
But,
Taibbi?
they can reach out. They can tweet at you, or is that getting
Yeah.
overwhelming? Yeah.
No, yeah, whatever. I do always have a tweet at the top of my page. Every Sunday night or Monday morning, I do a this is a subject thread. Hit me up with ideas, and people still hit me up. So
At
feel,
Adam Krigler.
feel free.
Yeah.
Stangley says, "Hey Tim, I just want to ask you, what do you think the future holds with escalations in China and unprecedented political unrest in America and across the world? Also, just want to say, out of respect to you guys, keep it up.
Oh
They
boy.
might ban TikTok.
Love it if they ban. Why? Because no, because they're spying on American citizens. I mean, no, we can't
That
stop
was
like young
Todd
people from
Howard right
using the
there.
internet, but if they're spying,
I just
on
killed
us
Todd Howard.
and they control what is being viral. Like, I mean, it is a Chinese company. Who's to say they're not going? Oh, this is a perfect one. Make this one viral over something else
Yeah.
on TikTok. I don't know if they can or not, or they can't, but I do
I
know
think-
that we proved that they take your clipboard information and they know,
know,
what's on there.
One of the reasons they claimed to have targeted Michael Flynn
Mhm.
was that he said he thought China was a bigger threat than Russia. Yep.
What a surprise.
And they were like, that proves he's trying to shield Russia. And it's like, no, it shows he's going after China. And that got you mad?
yeah.
Yeah.
China's
I
a
wonder
threat.
how much they mentioned Russian interference. I wonder how much of that is actually Chinese interference, manipulating our social media to
That's a
make
good
people
point.
go crazy.
That's a good point.
How about? Well, we got 7 million people in Hong Kong. Need a good place to go. I know they're waving American flags and
Yeah,
they're
July 4th.
holding up.
It was there was more people around the world that want to be here than the people that are arguing about that.
And there are people defending China.
Get out
who
of
are here.
I know. It's like, you want to go to China? Go live in China.
I'll tell you what.
We'll happily replace you with these other people that want to be patriots, want to live in this amazing.
If you are pro-CCP, okay, and you love what China does, I would absolutely, personally, myself, pay for you to move there and pay for that resident of Hong Kong to come back and take your place.
All right.
So, like, you guys can switch. And I mean that with the utmost respect. If you
Oh,
really
the
do think China does a good
freaking-
job, and there are people in America who do, then I will help
Breaking
you
the
go there
bobby
and live happily.
pins.
And if there's someone in Hong Kong who wants to be in America, I would pay to bring them here. I think that's an amicable
That's
solution to
fair.
make everybody happy.
Yeah.
This
that's-
spin is for all those people in Hong Kong
Yeah, man.
that wish they were here.
Yeah, man.
I wish you were here too.
Check this out. Kayleem Mims says, when you talk about Trump making the Garden of Heroes on the 4th of July, it gave me hope.
We
I
made it
didn't like him
so
at first.
far.
Now I'm leaning towards him 2020. Me, a young black man. I got to tell you, man, when Trump announced the Garden of Heroes, my net Trump favorability went up a lot.
Me too.
That's great.
I mean, it
I'm-
was already it was doing well over here.
My position has typically been Trump is bad, but he's not that bad.
Yeah.
Now my position is like, Trump's all right. The Garden of Heroes thing's legit. I really, really, really like that.
Me too.
For two reasons. I love the idea of statues honoring heroes.
Yep.
And you know what one of my favorite statues ever is? The statue of Hachiko the dog.
Cool.
You know the story?
Yeah. Great story.
Hachiko was a loyal dog who would wait by the train every day for his best friend.
Yeah.
To use the proper terminology. One day, the Japanese professor who owned Hachiko died while at the university, and he never came back. And Hachiko waited there for nearly 10 years every day. No matter how many times they tried to remove him, he was like, "No, I am waiting for my friend. I am," and he died. They
Yep.
built a statue in his honor at the train station.
Yeah, it's a
I
great
love
story.
that
There's also a funnier story of a fat cat. This was viral on Reddit.
How's
that
your
would
belly
lean on the
feeling? Are you
stairs,
feeling
like
okay,
the guy from
buddy?
the Dos Equis commercial.
Yeah.
And then when the cat died, they built a statue in his honor so that you walk by,
That's
there's
nice.
a little fat cat leaning on the stairs.
I see a fat cat over there.
Yeah, we got a little
She's over there.
little fat
There.
kitty.
She's
Oh,
right
there.
here. She's
But
sitting
I
there.
really do
there she
like
is.
the idea of getting to see a representation of the
Your
giants
belly feels better.
for whom have lent
Sorry,
their
talking to my
shoulders
dog.
to stand on.
The problem with that is if people don't know their history, it's meaningless.
That's why-
and that's
that's
a
why
lot. That's a big issue.
You put a plaque at the bottom of the statue to say here's who this person was.
Well, they have to read the
Dude,
plaque.
There's a couple things about the Garden of Heroes. For one, he made a great list of great American heroes, and I hope
yeah,
they
you
offer
go
up a
boy.
way to like vote for more
Yeah.
individuals to be placed there.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Don't
Why would
worry,
they
I'll give
do
you
that?
guys
I just
extra
imagine like 100
later.
years from now,
Okay.
people are gonna like walk in
Okay.
there and be like, wow, and they're gonna look at all these statues, all these different people, and they're gonna learn about why we hold them in such high esteem.
Yep.
But the other thing is, with this move to build the Garden of Heroes, Trump did, it was the biggest smackdown of the far left. I just want you to imagine like an MMA ring, and the far left is like, doing little like quick jabs at Trump, and then Trump jumps 50 feet in the air, and then just like aims down a burst of flames, and then just boom right in the face, and they explode. Boom on the like button.
Yes.
That smack on the far left is so explosive. I'm just imagining like some guy getting Trump in his face, explodes in a splatter of blood. Now I'm exaggerating, but when he didn't just say, "I will stop you from tearing down statues." He said, "I'm gonna build more."
Yep.
You want to tear a statue down?
I'm gonna build more statues.
And I'm like,
I heard you like
I
statues.
heard you like statues. First and foremost, I really like the idea of a national park memorializing heroes.
Me too.
Notably, Harriet Tubman.
Yeah.
Totally.
I think, right? And he did say Frederick Douglass.
Yeah.
Antonin Scalia, go for it. I think there's American heroes that there are people that we might disagree with, but if you want to put Ruth Bader Ginsburg in there as well, when her time, I'm not trying to be morbid, but she's getting on.
She's trucking though, man. It's crazy.
I have tremendous respect for her career, the things she's
Damn.
accomplished, and clearly she's strong.
Yeah.
You cannot deny that. That woman
Yes, she
is
is.
one of the strongest human beings I've ever heard of.
As a bunny.
Yeah.
For real, man. I'm impressed.
It's
I gotta
because she
I gotta
never
admit it.
retired. That's the key to living long.
But she has gone through how many bouts of cancer and
Oh,
like
cool. Yeah.
and illnesses, and she will not let go. I am impressed. I'm absolutely impressed.
I've heard. I actually got wind that she actually watches our show and smashes the like button.
Oh,
really?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Huh,
This
I
is
heard that.
true.
Anyway,
This is a
Heard that
true
too.
fact.
Yeah.
I think this was one of the most clever ways to rebut what the far left has been doing.
Yep.
Because it's a way to reaffirm our history. In the face of those who want to destroy it, you're not getting a federal, a national park with all of these heroes. You may have torn down a dozen or so of these statues. Trump's going to build 2 or 3 dozen more. Better. Yeah. And you can't get. You're not going to go in there. The states might not agree, but Trump is saying straight up, will not be destroyed. I will reinforce it.
Damn.
I'm like, here, man. Here. I have tremendous respect for that. Have Tome says, the Adam Curtis doc hypernormalization. It wades through the culmination of forces that have driven this culture into mass uncertainty, confusion, spectacle, and simulation. It does, but it starts to trail off. And I got, like, at a certain point, I was like,
This is gonna
I lost it, fell asleep, and just...
be fun.
Michael Stevens says,
Ooh, I got your head.
I read about it.
Yeah, I read about that.
They wanted to abolish it outright,
Yep.
but they would not have been able to defeat the British if they didn't have the support of the other colonies.
That's right.
Man, I'm not happy about that. It would have been, because I'm stubborn. I would have been like, then you guys can leave,
Yeah.
and then we'll do.
I mean,
we'll leave the military support.
I mean, they might not have won. I mean, we might have been a military. I mean, who knows where we'd be? So this is the thing. We're here right now. This is where we are. We're not back there. And that's what I can't from the far past, where it's like the whole Marx thing. Like people are defending him. They're like, oh yeah, he was racist, but he never brought around true communism like he wanted to. And it's like, I don't care what your argument is. You're literally saying what we're saying about all the different people that you're trying to demolish.
Really? I missed?
We're here. Is where we are. We need to move forward. That's the only option. It's the only option in life.
Rules for thee, but not for me.
Nah.
They will say we must tear down these old racists. What about that statue of Lenin? Whoa.
Whoa. Well, it
That
was
one's on
accepted. It
private
was
property.
accepted at the time.
Ironically.
They said the statue of Lenin's on private property. That's actually what they said.
Wow.
I'm not saying like they literally all said it, but of course they're not going to tear down the Lenin statue in Seattle. I'll tell you what, man. The first time I went to Seattle and I saw the Lenin statue, I was very confused.
Like why?
I was like,
why?
I think I was 20, and I'm looking at it. I'm like,
Is that who I think it is?
I'm like, isn't
Dictator.
this a guy that we hate?
Yeah.
Why is there a statue of him?
Good.
Right.
I
And
don't
why
know
is he
about that.
still standing now?
Why is it so
Yeah, well, duh.
I don't get it.
They just want to destroy America. They hate America. That's the sad reality.
Yeah, maybe.
The other sad reality is that it's 10:10 and it's time
Oh,
to go to bed.
man, it is.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, you must, Adam.
Smash that like button. Smash it. Smash it solid.
And we will
I
do
don't know
we
what
do the
that was.
show every Monday through Friday
Do I
at
want
8
to
p.m.
carry
so
this
we will
flame
return,
around?
but make sure you
Not
follow
really.
us. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TimCast. You can follow at Adam Krigler on Instagram and Twitter as well as at Sour Patch Lids, LYDS, on Parler and Twitter, and also on Parler as well. I should always remember to mention that.
I actually have a parlay that I have a thread there that you can also
Oh,
give me
yeah.
stories.
So you can send Adam
Lord.
story ideas on Parler if you have any.
Or Twitter. Yeah.
Or Twitter.
Either way.
And subscribe and notification bell, all the good stuff. We'll put up more clips. We put up clips from the show every day, so you can always
Think
hang out and stuff
I
will appear. But if
am
you wanna
about
catch us live,
done.
Now is the time to do
Not
it.
sure
8
if you're
p.m.,
still
but
there.
We'll return tomorrow. Thank you, friends. We need about 2,000 more likes to break 20K, so as we sign off, I'll just leave that to you. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you
Smash
all
it.
tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
At 8
Smash.
p.m.
Smash it.
Already smashed it. You're welcome. Nice. Okay, I haven't found any extra ammo. Ooh, those are people. I don't need that shotgun. I'll take noodles. I'll take a lawnmower blade. Where is that? I'm gonna get flagged now. There we go. 18556. How do I get down there? Oh. Can I grab something to stand on? Nope, nope, nope. There we go. Ooh boy, this might be difficult. It's also not underneath. Ugh. Not sure why it's not. You know what? That's enough for tonight. That's enough crashing. Anyway, that looks so much different than what's like over there. I don't know. Let me see what the different looks like. Maybe it's just my phone. Okay. So let's edit this out again. It's a little bit too much red. Me. Let's go to webcam, properties, configure video. Let's look at this. Advanced settings. Contrast, color intensity. That's probably just what we need to turn down. I don't see a difference. Oh, that's too much. Okay, so I just raised the brightness by 4. Good enough. Okay. And that's my color settings. It looks weird on my computer, but I'm guessing that's only because, I mean, I look there. I just changed my light to like cold, so it's more white. I still look red. I still look really red. Maybe I need to turn the color intensity down still? I mean, I don't want that much color. I look crazy. I mean, it's not bad. It just doesn't look good on my computer. I don't know what it looks like over here. Let's go to my Twitch. That's Twitter. Does it look the same? See, that doesn't look good. It looks so different on my phone than on my computer. I'm pretty much done. I'm just screwing with this camera again. I don't know if you came in the last time that I was doing this at the beginning, but I mean it crashed again, and I just had to call it a night. There was just too much shit. I couldn't really see a difference. Let's do white balance. That looks good. Automatic white balance. Contrast. Yeah, no, that's fine. That can stay where it is. Brightness. Nope, wrong way. Okay. Gain. Auto. My gain. I guess that's exposure. I have 3 different. A. SCP. Do I look normal? Do I look like red, or do I look really pale? Although that's not untrue, because I'm just kind of naturally blush. But am I fucking like, is it a lot? Do I need to turn this down a bit again? I mean, do I look weird? Do I look gray? I'm worried. Like, what happens when I do just chatting? People are gonna think I'm an alien, dude. They're gonna think I'm a gray. Quite literally. I can take a little bit of a blush. Whatever. Okay. Not really. That's okay. Alright. Well, that's why I got my other camera for just chatting. Figured out how to wire my GoPro camera up. Gets a little wide angle and everything, and the light is probably not going to be that great, but who cares? Okay. Well, seems like you have a blush on me. Okay. I'm going to keep looking over that comment and wondering if it's true. Alright. I'm all done for tonight, dude. I will check ya later in the next one. I'm definitely going to be... I'm definitely bringing out Fallout 3 again. Damn it. And you come back and there's 3 people? Bruh. How could you do this to me? I hope you didn't come for the Fallout 3. I'm disappointing you with my 720p webcam out here. Hold on, I don't want that hidden. I actually want to see who you are. Oh. I got Commander Root in here. That's a bot. Did you bring your friends? I thought you said you were bringing 1,000 people, man. Maybe we just do this for the next, like, 2 hours. We'll do a little bit of just chatting, even though I'm still playing Fallout 3. I need a drink, and I need to pet and cuddle with my dog. He's missing me. He had a bellyache today. Well, you know, any other things you want to talk about, dude? This was your night today. I want to see you play BioShock. It's gonna happen. I'm not good at playing more than one like campaign at a time, but then again, Fallout 3 isn't really a campaign. Like, I mean, you could play that after beating the game. You don't really have to follow anything. I mean, I can load it up right here, dude. Get a load. Oh, wait, I'm not on the right screen. Crap. What in the... That was loud as shit. Bam, dude. You're welcome. Ooh, sounds freaking sexy, man. Look at it. Sorry, I don't want to tease you. I fucking love this game, dude. You can't see it, but I'm looking at my FPS right now. Huge. Huge. Got 300 FPS. I'm running about half that, but you know. Sorry, gotta do a little closeout. You know what? Let's do this. Can I set this up quick enough? Yes, I can. We can do it. Alright, gonna move the mic for a second. Bam. So this is what I've been like trying to like get and work on forever. Was getting all the like components to make this work. And it kind of works. I mean, it's not... Let me see if I can turn it, make it... That's a little intense. I don't know. Yeah, I think the white one's probably the only one. But basically, I've been working on this. I have like this whole just chatting setup now. And it's like wide angle, although it seems like it's fucking crooked. That's straight. No, it's not. Fuck. Oh, that's why. The tripod. Oh, Jesus. I gotta line it up with, like... I gotta line it up with that line on the ceiling. Good enough. How do my double chins look? Magnificent. Actually, it might have been better down there. Right there. Ta-da! Wait, are you streaming? Stream Crossout. I want to watch it. I need to see if I'm gonna devastate my bank accounts to play this game. Nope, don't want to turn it that way. There we go. Also, why are your friends not talking? You're confusing. It's so weird having three people watching. And I already finished playing for the night. I mean, we can find something else to do. I can bring my dog on. I can have him I don't know. I want this gone. That looks relatively normal. There. It's like still this one is like just as odd. It's like very contrasty. So it's like one of those things. I'm gonna have to frickin' tweak it. Oh, it looks the exact same. Oh no, it's super contrasty. I also have the window open. That's embarrassing. Okay, we'll do the same thing. We're gonna tweak this webcam GoPro properties. I would totally show you how I'm doing this as like one of those tutorial things, but I'm pretty sure I can't. Or I don't want to. Because then I would show you everything. Let's try partial. Nope. Definitely not. Full. Default. I don't think that did anything. I don't think that did anything. Let's try 601. 601 did nothing. So we're going to go 709 color. Let's go to configure video. This is, oh God. Can I just check off the auto box for everything? All right, brightness. Also, just gotta say this does not look like 1080p, even though this is coming from my 1080p camera. Yeah, this does not look good. Saturation. That can. That was really high saturation. Now I just pulled it down. Hue. Oh god. Okay, that needs to stay at 0. Camera control, none. Let's see brightness. Let's see what happens. Okay, too high. That looks good. That's at 22 brightness. Nope, 20 brightness. Let's crank the contrast up and see what happens. So we're going to turn that down. To like 200. Hue stays the same. Saturation. Saturation is going to be our color. We could probably afford to turn that down. And that's decently accurate. So we can turn the brightness down again. Turned it down to 5 or to 15. No. So the brightness is making the darks like super dark. So we're going to turn it back up to 20 and then we're going to give it 2. Now we're going to go down, see what contrast does. We're going to take it down 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We took it down 10 from 200 to 190. Can't tell if I did it already. So that just made the darks dark again. Too bright. All right. Well, let's apply those. Apply. Keep it there. Okay. Resolution. Done. Auto detect buffering. Okay. Maybe it'll look better if we just. You're gonna see this. I can't tell if that changed anything. No, but it looks blurry. I don't understand. Is like is like that thing not that good? I guess, I mean, I'm not using a DSLR. I don't know why I'm expecting. It changed to old time-ish? Fuck. Son of a bitch, dude. Wait, what do you mean? You have to... Okay, it changed a lot old time-ish. Explain. Explain. What does that mean? So all I did from that last change was make the angle wide. We're in the wide angle now, so you can see the whole room. Oh, the walls look old. Well, this room is freaking red. This room is like a burgundy color. I'm glad you can tell what color they are because I was afraid I mean, yeah, I mean this is my office. So I mean, does it look accurate? Does that look like purplish or I mean dark brown? It's like reddish brown. I don't know what I'm saying. I want to sharpen this. Like, I wish I could get this like a different shade. Sharpen. Maybe I can do that, actually. Frames, wide, low light, spot meter, pro tune, white balance, auto, color, ISO limit, sharpness, low sharpness, do high sharpness. I don't know what EV compensation is. And did it make a difference? I don't think it made a difference. I think it actually made it look worse. This is low sharpness. Why does it have to look good on like my stream computer and then it looks like absolute garbage? Does anybody have advice other than get a better camera? What is a spot meter? I already did the Pro Tune. Also, crossout is grinding game. I'm not exactly sure what that means. Like, you have to constantly play it? Is it like Ark? Do you know what Ark is? That game. Yikes. I don't even find the motivation to get on and play this game. Okay. All right, SCP. I'm not sure if you can hear this, but I'm out of here. Thank you to all the people who are watching. Can I see who it is? Call them out, maybe. Ginger. Rubber Slayer SCP and Thicker. I like that name. Thick. Like a bowl of oatmeal. Alright, man. I will I'll hopefully be on tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Wednesday? Okay, I have a very important class I'm taking tomorrow. I think it starts at like 7:30. So I'm hoping it won't take too long because it's actually a very special class. I don't know if you've ever had to take it, but it's a pew pew class. If that makes any sense. Yeah, wish me luck, and I'll see you tomorrow after that to let you know how it went. All right. Thank you all, as usual, past, present, and future, for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Good night.